news. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning Expresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Woo, yes, indeed. We're back again. Another dose of magic coming right at you, baby.
Welcome to it, my friends. You look very dapper this morning.
Thank you. You do too, man. Jeez, where's G? What happened to...
Buddy, it's a new year, baby. We gotta put our best foot forward. Now, we know that there is so much impetus on focusing on the new year, especially at these early stages of the week like this. We want to have everything in focus, and of course, it's a big one when it comes to our health. And that's what we're going to focus on today. We're going to call it officially a Health Tuesday. So don't say we didn't plug you. We got you sorted this morning. So first up, we're going to meet the founder of Learn Girl Guide, Angelique Doberman, who is absolutely amazing here to, I think, school all of us on all things calories while also enjoying the sweet things in life. Yes, because you can find a balance.
Yeah, man. So I think just rolling on from yesterday.
Yeah, dude, I thought about it the whole day, bro. We worked you, and we're going to do it again today.
We did, but I'm so here for it because I had so much fun yesterday. And today we got another 2 sessions. So we got a lower body and upper body workout. There's something involving some cards and rewards. I don't know what this is all about, but we're definitely going to find out. And I am ready to move the gym gears back. And it's round 2, baby. Let's do this.
And we will reward you, my friend, because we've got a big blueberry protein fridge tart recipe. Yes, it is a protein dessert. Can only be January. Find these things. If you are a little calorie conscious, then we got you sorted.
Now, look, on top of this, we're also going to be gearing up for the release of our matric results. It's a big day, and we brought in the experts to help ease the nerves and answer the questions of, well, now what exactly? Because there's a lot going on and a lot riding on these results.
Completely. It's a big gateway, but whether you win or lose today, it isn't the rest of your life. So we're going to hopefully put that in perspective. Then, of course, we're going to have a little bit of fun to maybe temper the edge there, take some of the nervousness out. We have got Erin Elliott in studio, a rising star that is going to blow you away. All 3 versions of her. No, she's absolutely amazing, and she is yet another Tuesday plug-in, but there is one plug-in that I'm looking for this morning.
The one and only. Let's say good morning, brother!
You stunning gentlemen. Oh, man, it is such a beautiful morning, as you can feel. And, of course, matric results are coming out soon. So, from me, Carl Wasty, to you, I'd like you to get onto our socials as soon as possible and, you know, share some advice. We love your advice. In fact, if there are any matrics a bit apprehensive about receiving the results, about how well they've done or perhaps not have done, it doesn't matter, because I feel like we can share. We are together. We're a community. So please share those little bits of advice that you'd give to anybody receiving their results. Remember, of course, there's so much to do after matric, so many options for so many people. So please share what option worked for you if you were in that scenario. 063-408-8863. We'd love to hear your advice for our matrics as we get into news from around the world. And a feel-good breakfast show, here's Ryle standing by.
Thank you so much, Carlitos. Yes, let's start with some news headlines and national news up first, and sticking to the theme of the matric results. Now, the Council for Quality Assurance in Education, Umalusi, has approved the results of the 2023 matric examination and endorsed their integrity and credibility. Now, Umalusi's chief executive, Mafu Rakometsi, says the standard of some papers translated from English to Afrikaans was not up to expectations and resulted in learners not being able to answer certain questions. Now, despite this, the exams went well. Now, no papers were leaked, and Umalusi says 16% of the examination results were adjusted upwards, 18% downwards, and the examination results of 66% of the subjects were left unchanged. Well, carrying on with national headlines, the environmental authorities have warned members of the public not to eat any fish or other sea creatures that wash up on beaches along the Garden Route in the Western Cape. Now, a red tide has been observed along the coast between Storms River and Mossel Bay, and red tides occur when algae grow out of control. Now, this can cause the water to change color and is harmful to the health of people and marine animals. Now, samples have been taken and sent for analysis. Well, now moving over to international headlines, and inflation in Nigeria has risen to its highest rate in more than 27 years. Now, the National Bureau of Statistics said the rate that prices were increasing over the year was up for the 12th straight month. Now, on average, the price of goods has risen to just under 29% compared to a year ago. Now, the Statistics Office said the rise in the cost of basic foodstuffs, including bread, fruit and eggs, was even higher. And analysts say higher fuel prices and weaker currency, otherwise known as the Naira, have also contributed to the rise. Well, next up in the headlines, China has called for an end to attacks on merchant vessels in the Red Sea. Now, the Iran-backed Houthi rebel group in Yemen has carried out at least 27 attacks on cargo ships in the Red Sea since November 19. Now, in solidarity with Palestinians amid Israel's military action in Gaza. Now, this has severely disrupted shipping on this route, and the attacks pose a threat to Chinese trade, which has been increasingly using the Red Sea route since 2014. Now, in an attempt to avoid being attacked, Chinese vessels have of late been flying multiple flags. Well, next up and finally for this hour of our headlines, news to prep you up this morning comes from Edmond in the U.S. state of Oklahoma. Now, it concerns a black cat named Binks, which has emerged as the unlikely hero of the county. Now, this after she valiantly sprang to the defense of a Dyer family's wee terrier, Oakley, by tackling a pair of coyotes. Now, Oakley was enjoying some outdoor toilet time when two coyotes closed in on the small dog. And this is when Binks leaped into action, fearlessly charging them, and surprisingly, the coyotes beat a very hasty retreat. Now, Binks' fearless intervention allowed Oakley to seek refuge inside the house, and she sustained chest wounds, but a vet saved the day, and she's presently a picture of perfect health again. Well, we still got lots of lives to spare. Let's see how we can use it wisely for these next 3 hours, and here's G-Man with the latest when it comes to all things sport.
In fact, that's why Zoe's not here today. It's officially International Black Cat Day, so she's taken the day off. Well, someone who is enjoying his day as we focus on football first, Argentinian star Lionel Messi. He's done it again and again. He secured the Best FIFA Men's Player of the Year trophy for the second consecutive time. The former PSG forward outshone some big guns, Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe, for the prestigious award. So Messi, who lifted the 2022 World Cup with Argentina, also helped PSG claim the League One title before joining MLS team Inter Miami. Aitana Bonmati, a key player in Spain's 2023 World Cup victory, was named the best women's player, while Pep Guardiola of Manchester City earned the best men's coach accolade. Then staying with footballing news, but on the pitch, defending champion Senegal made a resounding statement at AFCON with a commanding 3-0 win against Gambia. Papa Gueye, he set the tone with a fourth-minute goal. Nice and early, then Gambia's Edo Adams saw red in the first half, of stoppage time at least, of that first half. Then Lamine Camara doubled Senegal's lead in the 52nd minute, and his impressive curling effort in the 86th minute, sealing what was ultimately a decisive 3-0 victory. Don't forget, you can catch all of the AFCON action live on SABC, with Tunisia up against Namibia, and that one's at 6:30 this evening. Then we turn to local cricket, and already has leapt into another gear. Durban Super Giants, they secured a thrilling 37-run victory by overcoming the Joburg Super Kings in a dramatic SA20 clash at Kingsmead yesterday. So opting to bat first, the Super Giants, they faced an early setback at 34 for just 4, but recovered to post 145 for 8 with some help from man of the match Heinrich Klaassen, who scored 64 of just 41 deliveries. Well, in response, the Super Kings seemed poised for victory at 33 without loss. But then a remarkable turnaround saw the Super Giants defend that rather meagre total, and in so doing earn themselves a crucial bonus point as well. Then we turn to tennis, and of course, all news on the big impending first Grand Slam of the year. And of course, Naomi Osaka hasn't had the best start to her Grand Slam comeback. It took an early exit as she lost 6-4, 7-6, and that was 7-2 in that tiebreak to Caroline Garcia in the Australian Open's first round. So the French 16th seed secured the victory with a single break in the opening set, and then a dominant performance in the second set tiebreak. So Osaka, a 4-time Grand Slam champion already, had of course taken a hiatus in September of 2022, citing mental health concerns. She returned for the 2024 season after giving birth to her baby girl. Not the best start, but I'm sure she will be back pretty soon. And that's where we leave our sporting headlines for for this hour at least. We'll touch on those headlines again on the top of the hour. Right now, let's see what the weather has in store.
Let's take a look at the weather news. Now, the SA Weather Service says a steep upper air system is expected to affect the eastern parts of the Eastern Cape, parts of KwaZulu-Natal, Mpumalanga, Gauteng and Limpopo until Thursday. The public is advised that stormy conditions such as severe thunderstorms and disruptive rainfall leading to flooding can be expected in places. Now, severe thunderstorms leading to heavy downpours, strong winds, hail and excessive lightning are also expected over the southwestern parts of Northwest, the extreme northeastern Northern Cape and the western parts of the Free State. The Weather Service says extremely high fire danger conditions are expected over the Walter Sisulu local municipality of the Eastern Cape, the Matsakama and Berg River municipalities of the Western Cape, the central and eastern parts of the Northern Cape, and the western and southern parts of the Free State. Now let's take a look at the first sunrise view of the morning. Azalea from Pearly Beach sent this one through, and look how gorgeous that is. A sunrise kissing the clouds, reminding you that today is going to be a good day. Now I want to see yours, 063-408-8863. I'd love to feature you right here in your Feel Good Breakfast Show as we take a look at your temperatures across South Africa with some light music.
Beautiful day all round. Yes, it is cooking in parts. Some high fire warnings there. Please be vigilant and stay hydrated. And of course, after the break, we are going to reconnect with another member of our family after a big weekend. And we haven't had her spill the beads on her holidays. And Nella is going to bring us up to speed with what she got up to over this festive period. Oh man, she was our gift last year, so we cannot wait to find out what she has got in store for this year and what she's going to bring to the party.
Look, speaking of holidays, we're going to be speaking of another holiday, especially if you didn't get enough of it, because we've got an incredible opportunity for you to win a trip to Paris. Ooh. Yes, you heard correctly, so don't go anywhere.
Paris, eh? Not Paris, eh?
Paris, the real one, overseas, brother. So don't go anywhere. There's every opportunity to get the holiday feels come at you right after this.
Only you can make my day.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. It's your feel-good breakfast show, and things are going to feel a lot better right now because it's time to check in with our family. And if you're ever wondering what a young queen gets up to on holiday, well, we've just found one to showcase with you right now. I'm talking about the one and only, the beautiful Zanele Patelwa in the building. Zanele, good morning. How are we doing?
Hello. Good morning. Oh, Ralph, you'll have to forgive me for two things. I've got my glasses on because I'm still on holiday. But then also, I picked up a little bit of an accent when I went to Cape Town. A couple of weeks ago.
No one's complaining about this. You look incredible. I can see the holiday glow is just beaming off you. Honestly, how was it? What did you get up to over this festive period? Was it friends? Was it family? Was it adventure? A little bit of everything?
Raul, it was a little bit of everything, which I absolutely love because you know us. When the year starts, we go A for away and there is no stopping at all. And for me, I think it was like almost 2.5 years where I hadn't taken like a proper break.
What?
And I hadn't seen my mom for like a year. Yeah.
Whoa.
So this time around, I took time off of radio. I took time off of TV. I took time off of everything. And I went home to the Eastern Cape. I got to see the family. It was amazing. But then in between, right, you always need to like factor in the friends. You know what I mean? They were very shocked when I said I was going to be leaving after Christmas. But you know what? You got to do what you got to do. So I went over to Cape Town, where I picked up my accent, of course. And I was with my friends. And we just, you know, we got to have such a good time. I mean, we've got to go to a wine farm because do you go to Cape Town if you don't go to a wine farm?
No, it doesn't count.
That was one of my biggest highlights. Yeah. And another thing for me was definitely just being able to just spend time with my loved ones, I think. And we also just got to go to a beautiful, amazing, Raul, listen to this, a beach party. Did you go to a beach party this holiday, Raul?
I didn't even go to a beach party this holiday, so you've already trumped me on that one. Jealous? Much? Well played.
Thank you. You should be, because it was so much fun.
Well, I'm still looking in my messages here. I don't see any invites, so I'm going to hold you to this for the next one, okay? Especially if you come down to Cape Town.
Raul, I'm sure it was just because there were so many people in Cape Town. The network didn't reach you. Do you know what I mean?
I want to ask, though, seeing that you have this incredible opportunity, right? You come from working in, let's say, the hub and the epicenter of the hustle, and that being Joburg, right? To the polarity, I think, being the Eastern Cape, raw, real, natural beauty, hometown feels, and then heading off to, like, the cosmopolitan of South Africa, being Cape Town at the same time. How's that sort of balance in your holiday experience feeling for you right now?
It was everything my soul needed, Raul, you know, especially getting to take a break away from the hustle and bustle. As much as I love Johannesburg, you know, you always need to just go and make sure that you have a little bit of a level head to face it the next year, right? So getting to go home brought me back down to earth. Getting to go to the lovely Cape Town where my family is, it allowed me to like almost feel as though, you know, I'm actually relaxing. I'm actually having a bit of a holiday because like we all know, Cape Town is the most beautiful city in the whole entire world, as named by experts who know beautiful cities. Thank you very much. So it honestly was just an all-round masala that my soul needed.
Oh, well, look, sounding like you've done so much and more over the last few years, and you have absolutely deserved this holiday. So seeing you smile, seeing you glow like this, it makes us all happy here at home, especially at the Expresso family, because that means that you get to serve the rest of Mzansi with vigor and gusto. I got to ask, though, for this year, we're all setting out intentions. What are yours for the year? I know you're taking over already, and there's so much that you've already got under your belt, but what can we expect from you for this year, especially when it comes to the energy that you put out?
Oh, Raul, you're so kind. Oh, this is why I love you as my family. But I'm super excited for 2024 because honestly, I feel like you said, we're going big and better, right? I mean, last year we only just started things off in the Johannesburg studios for Expresso, and we're kicking things off again on the 25th of January next week. So super excited for that because we're going to be coming back with a bang, just like you guys did in Cape Town. And I feel like this time around, I say 2024 is for 2020 more. So we're bringing more of everything that was good in 2023, which was all of the amazing music, all of the amazing conversations we had and everything, but we're just going to be doing it on a higher level. And then in terms of me, I mean, you know, Raul, you have to keep a little bit of mystery as a lady. You know what I mean? However, I am hoping that in 2024, I'm going to be able to get more into the entrepreneurial space because that's something I've had a huge love for, especially in the space of fashion. And then I'm also hoping that I'm going to be able to just expand my foundation, where I do a lot of drives, like pad drives and food drives and clothing drives. So I want to do more and more of that, and that's what I'm hoping to be able to do in 2024. And then there'll be more, but I can't tell you right now. I sign things, you know what I mean?
Oh, the mystery, but I absolutely love it. Thank you again, Zandile, for sharing that with us, for invigorating yourself once again so that you can do your job so exceptionally and make all of South Africa happy with us. So we'll check in with you again, but it sounds like you got a call there. It looks like your holiday's been taken up. People want more of your time, so we're going to leave you to it and enjoy the rest of it.
What's going on? I don't even know what's happening, Rel. I need to figure out this technology. However, Cape Town family, I'm going to come and visit you more in 2024 as well, because I love you guys and you're amazing and you're doing such a great job, and I can't wait to see more of you.
We absolutely love you, Zandile. We're going to hold her to that indeed. That was Zandile Potelwa coming through from her last moments of her holiday. You can still see the glow, but this is what it's about, touching and reconnecting with our family and making the most of all the time that we do have. I hope you're still doing the most right now, and this morning especially, because we've got a lot of hours of magic coming right at you.
All right. Thank you, my sweetie pie.
What a sweetie pie, hey?
Did you
Oh,
see the
man.
heart emojis?
I know.
That's the
Are we
thing,
doing
it's so
that
cool.
now? Is that our
Yes,
thing?
it's a
Please
thing
can I
now.
have some heart emojis now, right now?
I feel like it's because it was setting up something beautiful. Get ready for the sweetest competition of the year, thanks to Bayers. And, of course, stand a chance to win a dream getaway to the city of love, Paris.
Paris, and you've got to say it like that when you
Paris.
enter. So this is actually how you enter. You've got to purchase any sweetie pie.
Any sweetie pie.
Any sweetie pie, okay? And when I say any, I stress the word any, my friend.
I have a sweetie pie drawer here. I do.
A sweetie pie haven, if
So you
you
say
will.
anyone?
Any one of them. Whoa, the OG. And you know, I haven't been able to buy one of those for my daughter. I can buy a sweetie pie for my sweetie pie. Oh my word. Oh
It's a
my
whole drawer
word.
that I've been stashing throughout the holidays.
Oh my word.
Right.
So there's like a
Fitting enough.
million ways to enter.
What?
Oh
see that?
my word. Look
Hey?
at it.
I haven't even stopped yet. Look at that.
And any one of them could take you to Paris. So you've got to keep your till slip, you've got to scan the QR code in-store or online, or you've got to come to our studio and scan one of these, complete the entry form. No, I'm joking. You've got just one entry per till slip, unfortunately, so you're going to have to get as many as you can, and that competition closes the 12th of February. I have a feeling we're going to have a lot of entries for this one, so get on it.
T's and C's apply.
Get your sweetie pie. All right, so we're going to hopefully get prepped for what is a very big day tomorrow. I know we're going back to school, but lest we forget, today matric results are coming out, so a lot of people are very stressed right now. It's a massive gateway, so we're going to be offering you some advice in that regard, and maybe all of this additional stress, or maybe it's just the hangover from the festive season, eating your tummy is not so lacquer. We're going to sort you out. We've got the roadmap for you today.
Experts are going to be here, so make sure you stick around. Your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for keeping it dialed in. There is a lot going on at the moment.
Yep.
Summer being a big part of it, and we love it. We are embracing it. We're talking about an important topic today with that in mind, keeping our little ones safe from tummy troubles during this time. There have been some nasties going around already this year, and of course they're all going to start mixing with each other pretty soon, and then the stakes are going to raise. The petri dish, I like to call it. Well, pediatrician Dr. Anisa Vahed joins us to put our minds at ease, hopefully.
Yeah, no, it's going to happen. By the way, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Yes.
It's going to be a
When
good
do we
one, I
stop
think.
saying that? I just want to make sure that
Never.
we do. Never. Done and dusted. I'm here for that. But let's talk about, of course, tummy troubles this time of year. Naturally, we've come off a period of time where I think the dieting has been a bit looser. You know, our hydration has been a bit looser. People have been doing their thing, and we can completely understand. But now, of course, there's the plight of diarrhea, and this is, you know, the onset of this. There's so many different, you know, causes, etc. But let's start off with, you know, how to protect those kids. From, let's just say, what you were saying, the mixing that's going to be
Are we
happening
allowed to
soon.
send them in a bubble? Can you send them in a bubble to school?
Unfortunately not.
Yeah, so how, like, what are some of the ways we can sort of, I'm going to say, treat them now, prevention better than cure, just to make sure that they are protected as they head into a new school year?
So essentially between November and May is our
Yes.
pediatric surge season. It's the busiest time of the year for us pediatricians.
Yes.
This is
Wow,
where
okay.
gastro cases are a huge, large caseload for us.
Yeah.
So we are very on top of our hygiene. Okay, hand washing is a big thing for us. So we're trying to make sure that our parents are teaching our kids, please hand wash, sanitize, make sure that the food that you're cooking is nice and clean, using clean, clean water, and make sure it's not contaminated, and make sure the kids are getting up to their hydration, especially in this heat at the moment.
And that information is available.
Yes,
You know, get queued up, find the right people in your area. There are ways that you can fortify yourself. Is it really that simple? Because I think we often think, okay, there's a bug, we're helpless.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Wash your hands. Is it really as simple as us just taking that element of the equation out of play?
Well, it is, because essentially with the diarrhea, it's very infectious. So what happens is that little one, it's always the small one in the house is patient zero. Parents are changing the nappies, and then what happens, mom gets it, passes on to dad, and then goes to Oma and Opa in the house, and then it circulates all the way back to the kids. So that's why we're always saying, especially when you're going to the bathroom, wash your hands.
Break the chain.
Make sure you try and kind of get on top of the hydration with the kids so that they don't get the complications of the diarrhea, but also keep up with your multivitamins, keep up with your hydration status, and just try and get on top of it early on before it gets worse.
Because a stronger body is going to be less susceptible.
Yes. Yes.
That's perfect. In fact, you know, if you have any questions related to this, I'd love to invite you in. We have a doctor, so you might as well use the doctor. 063-408-8863. We'd love to hear if you have any questions around diarrhea, upset tummies, and of course the difference between diarrhea and stress-related stomach ailments, because I think that there is a little divide there that and a little discernment that we need from you, doctor, between that, because yes, we're coming off a holiday season, but then again, matrics are going to get the results soon. There's a lot of, you know, sort of like tummies turning over there, a lot of cortisol involved. So like, how do we tell the difference between, let's just say, a proper stomach ailment and stress?
So essentially with the diarrhea, with the acute infectious diarrhea, it's a rapid response. You get high output watery stools. There might be blood involved with it, but you're acutely unwell. There's a high fever. You might become lethargic, but it's a rapid onset. It happens within 12 to 24 hours. Some cases it goes away within 24 hours, and we
Hence
count
the
ourselves
name.
lucky.
Yes.
But then you've got the IBS, the more chronic illnesses that tends to happen even with food intolerances. You get a bit of lactose intolerance, you get a bit of a response from that. And those are normally, you're not really unwell from it. You kind of know what your triggers are, and it's very mild onset. So you actually don't really need to keep up with the hydration side of things. It normally lasts for weeks on end.
Depleting the body in that same way. Some incredible questions answered already. If you have any yourself, please plug in. We promised you the plug-in this morning, and she's not going to charge, I promise you. Not individually, at least, maybe just to us. 063-408-8863. Dr. Vahed's not going anywhere. If your little one is having tummy troubles, we've got you covered.
Yeah, and we're going to keep the theme of health going right now because it's time to shine the spotlight on excellence, and that's in healthcare. And it's time to recognize the outstanding contributors making a difference in our communities. And that's our pharmacists. And it's proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave. So let's take a look at this week's Pharmacy of the Week. We're talking about Adinal Karelse Pharmacy in the Northwest Province. Let's have a look.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
The main thing for us is to serve the people. And it comes with a lot of challenges in this area because you can go 3 weeks without water, the electricity is a problem. But despite of that, we just keep positive and, serve the people. When they walk in the door, I would like them to go out feeling better than they came in. And some of them do that to us as well. The time you have with a patient when they're in front of you, that's special time. That's the time you have to devote just to them. So by making them feel like, they're important, and some of them turn away and tell me, you made my day, you made me feel special. In a Xhosa man, of a Tswana man, walks in the door and he starts singing, Goeiemôre my sonskyn, and I answer him, Goeiemôre my lam, that kind of connection. And also through our clinic, we do excellent work. We see a lot of people struggling and, just helping them, it provides a big service to the community. So yeah, we're privileged to be here and we must see that as a privilege every day.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave. Inspiring communities, one pharmacy at a time.
We've been long in the game, healing South Africa one allergy at a time. All the sneezing, runny nose, itching of nose and throat, we've left no stone unturned. Until finally, South Africa recognized us. You've given us the courage to continue to do what we do best. Live, work, play, sleep allergy-free with Allergex Non-Drowsy. Ask your pharmacist for the full allergy range. Brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Yeah, talk about inspiration. That is what it's about. And we're going to be thanking all our pharmacists for making a difference in their communities because we absolutely appreciate you.
All right.
So we are having a very interesting, I think all of us have been recounting, well, I certainly has as a parent, so all of those moments when the tummy trouble has taken over and it can sweep through a family. We know it is no joke.
And thank you so much for supporting this particular conversation with your questions. We have our pediatrician, Dr. Anissa Vahed, here making sure that we get all the information we require as we head into a brand new school year. Now, some of the questions that have come through, I want to start off with one of them that it's around the foods that are good to eat during diarrhea. Perhaps some of the food that you recommend, because obviously naturally at that time, not a lot wants to go in, a lot's coming out. So can we talk about the foods that people need to hear about? Yeah, the things that kind of, I know like growing up, they always used to give you something to bind the stomach.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
a banana
some of those?
or flings.
Yeah. Right.
Like there's so many old wives' tales.
That's the thing. There's a lot of old wives' tales, and
Yes.
parents panic because the kids stop eating when they get gastro.
You see.
Yeah.
So we try and say, don't bribe them, obviously, with the KFC and the McDonald's, but let's try and kind of get back onto their normal diet. Biggest thing is bland diet, so go into high starch things like toast, boiled eggs, avos, try and kind of get them eating their chicken nuggets and make it into small portions so that it's not a huge meal for them to feel very bloated with.
Okay.
So if it's small portions regularly, they might actually tolerate a bit more and that'll get them back into it. And once they're feeling better, they will start eating better. And then
The body will demand it,
The body will demand it, they will catch it up. But as soon as when they catch up phase, let them go and eat as much as they want.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay, we've got a voice note coming in, which we absolutely love. Let's hope this is not a very difficult situation or conundrum to work through. Tummy troubles, let's hear from our latest caller.
A very good morning to my Expresso family, Dr. Anissa. I would like to know, is there a difference between gastro and diarrhea? Thank you, Johnson Gardens. Bye.
Okay, that one from Jocelyn.
Yes.
Difference between gastro and diarrhea.
Yep.
So gastro and diarrhea, gastro is essentially the infection part.
Yeah.
Diarrhea is more the actual symptom of it.
What the body
So
does.
gastro
Okay.
can be caused by infections, can be from virus, bacteria and parasites, and the diarrhea is the actual symptom of it. So that's when you get the high output watery stools, the change in consistency of it.
Okay, fantastic. Well answered, by the way. You should be a doctor. Anyway, dehydration. Here's a big one. I think that recognizing dehydration is very important because naturally we want to prevent, of course, but how do we recognize dehydration before we, treat it? So what are some of the things that we need to look out for?
So the early signs are that they're very thirsty, they're
Yeah.
wanting to drink a bit more. Then you kind of get the middle kind of signs where you might actually, they start getting a bit more lethargic.
Okay.
They might actually not want, they might have a bit of low pulses. And then we start going into the severe side, and that's where they start having breathing issues. So we want to try and get on top of it. We look at weight as a big kind of factor for our signs of dehydration, especially in our children. But it's very simple little signs to actually look out for.
I know, and this is quite a strange thing to kind of wrap your head around, but our body isn't a reservoir for water,
Yeah.
albeit we are mainly made up of
Yes.
water. So that says we can't just drink water
No.
to rehydrate.
No.
What do we do? Do you have a hack for us?
So water doesn't have sugar and electrolytes. It's all about replacing that. So the motto should be, as much as we're having diarrhea and how much we're losing, we need to be replacing
back.
that.
Okay.
So this is regular sips of something like an oral rehydration solution. So it's very easy, 1 litre of cooled down boiled water, 8 level teaspoons of sugar and half a teaspoon of salt. You can put a tiny bit of Oros in or a tiny bit of lemon juice just to try and change the taste.
Yeah.
Or simple measures, just go and get those rehydration solution
sure.
sachets and just mix that. And we take regular sips frequently just to try and avoid that dehydration.
Get the
I see.
minerals
We
and
don't
the
want
salts
to
back.
guzzle the water
No,
down
no,
or
no.
the solution down. You want it to be systematic and slower, right?
Because generally what happens is they're vomiting. That's the
that's
thing.
true,
So you
yeah,
want
yeah.
to try and avoid the vomiting. So it's always try and take regular sips as often as we can. For the older kids and the adults, we normally say 1 cup of water every time you go to the bathroom. But the smaller kids, little small sips as often
Just
as you
keep
can.
it going in.
Keep it
Just
going.
keep it going in.
And if obviously you're big concerned or something's finding excessive, your child is not looking right, you're not managing to take the orals, then we say go get seen in the emergency unit. This is not something
Yeah.
to wait tomorrow to
Oh,
get
for
our
sure.
appointments. Emergency units are open 24 hours a day. Rather come and get checked out and get guided on where your child is, especially from the hydration state.
Yeah, and we know how depleted that little body can become in that situation, which just opens the gateway to a whole lot of other kind of scary thoughts as well. Doc, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Stay
guys.
safe, stay healthy this
Yes.
year, all the best. And thank you for working right through this
No,
period. For all
thank
of the
you,
people
guys.
that you've helped, we're going to thank you on their behalf as well. But hopefully this has helped you guys just a little bit to see those warning signs, take cognizance of that, but there is something you can do about it, and it's not too hectic. If it is the nerves, though, we're right there with you. It's the start of a brand new year, so hopefully the rest of the show will help to calm everyone down.
I told you, Zanzi, we promised you a Health Tuesday like no other, and a great conversation coming through there from the doc. Thank you so much. And we're going to keep these great conversations continuing. And we're going to talk about the matric results, and it's the big topic right now, and what you might need to do and deal with if you are disappointed by your kids' matric results. Now, not everybody gets the best, but we all got to deal with it somehow. And we've got some great advice for you after this, so don't go anywhere. And then again, keeping to the theme of health, we're talking about kids' breakfast and why it is so important, not just for the adults, but the kids especially. So you've got no reason to go anywhere. We'll see you after this.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, yes, Mzansi, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Health Tuesday, but more importantly, today is a big day for matrics. Oh, because the results are coming through. Yes, we're anticipating the 2023 matric results this week, and yeah, the nerves are definitely high. But don't worry, we've got you covered. We've got some great advice for you, especially if the results don't go your way. And we're going to be joined by educational psychologist Dr. Sharon Aitken, and alongside Liter van Zyl, a counselor, and they're going to be discussing and supporting students through these potentially disappointing times, especially if the results did not go your way. So firstly, good morning. How are we doing?
Number one, no nerves, right?
No nerves.
It's early in the morning.
Yes, that's fine. Don't worry. I mean, with matrics, they're also nervy at the moment, and we brought you in to help. And I think, Lita, I want to start with you as a counsellor. I think that we've both experienced this. You've experienced it. You know, when you get the results coming through, you're not sure what they're going to be. You're not sure if you're going to... It used to pop up in the newspaper as well. I remember this, right?
Yes, search for your name.
Yes, so you couldn't hide. Because usually you could hide with the other reports throughout the year. But you can't hide with this one. And now let's just say that the results weren't what you wanted them to be. Other people are successful around you. There's laughter, and people are going to go out, like, we're going to party tonight. And
supposed to be celebrating,
and this is a social pressure, isn't it, when people are successful around you, but you haven't received the results that you've wanted. In that scenario, let's start straight up. How would you deal with the situation? As a matric, if you were to chat to them directly, how do you interpret and deal and then act to create a solution?
Well, so I think it's important to understand what happens when you feel disappointed, right?
Yeah.
So you have this conception of this idea of what your results are going to be.
Yeah.
Right? And then reality comes and it's like completely different, right?
Yeah.
And so what happens there is this whole idea that you had just kind of falls flat. And so what often happens is you might start to doubt your future, right? Because you have this idea of, okay, well, this is what my future is going to be, you know, and all of a sudden now, because my conception about, you know, what I thought my results are going to be is wrong, that just turns into this whole mess of self-doubt. You could experience shame as well, thinking that just because your results are not good, this means that you as a person, you are not good enough, right? So that's sort of the things we're dealing with. And the other thing as well is frustration, you know, that comes up. Because frustration happens when you're on your way to a desired outcome and you just get blocked. So basically what you would do is, you know, try and help, you know, the matric people to understand that it's not them as a person, right? So don't personalize it. That's very important. And then you would kind of want to, I almost want to say, bolster their, you know, esteem and say, well, look, this is just a part of a process, right? It's just a step in the process. And that's kind of how you would go about that.
I love that, man.
Powerful,
Thank you so much.
Separating.
Mishan, you can possibly add to that, because I would imagine that it's pretty important to ensure that the understanding for both the parents and the kid is that this is not necessarily the end of your educational journey. This is not the end of the road, right? Yes, it might feel like your life has come to an end. The ambition and the world that you wanted to change suddenly can't anymore. But there's more to life than just this result, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you are unhappy with your result, there's so many different things that you can do. I mean, one of the things that I've found that learners are not aware of is that you can actually reset some of those exams.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not the end of the world.
All right.
You just sign up with some institution, and the following year you can actually...
just go again.
Or this year, rather, you can actually go again and, knock it out the ballpark. Then there's all sorts of different forms of learning, like experiential learning. All of those things can actually build towards your future career path. So absolutely not the end.
Nice. I like that. Comforting.
So, as Lita was saying around, you know, the frustration that happens along the way, how would you go about trying to reframe a different vocational path for a matric? You know, heading onto a path. Yes, they wanted to do the whole university thing with the choice.
Immediately.
All right, they were like, yes, let's go. And they pictured the movies and like, I'm going to get like a college jacket. And now that's not going to happen anymore. So how do you usher in a new path? And, you know, saying to this matriculant that it doesn't mean that you are diverging too much. I mean, you are choosing a path that is now, you know, sort of more suited to you at this stage in your life. I mean, how would you sort of broach that conversation? How do you broach it and say, this is how it's going to go for you?
It's not a race. It is absolutely not a race.
Love that.
Take your time. The most important thing is to find your passion in life and to make that happen. If that takes you a little bit longer, that's okay. And there are so many different ways that you can do that. You know, you can reset your exams, you can take a structured gap year. So many people are unaware of structured gap years. I mean, they're amazing. You can come out of a structured gap year with approximately 35 little accredited courses that you can add to your CV. You can get work experience, you can job shadow. There are so many positive things that you can do while you are taking your time to find your passion and the way forward. And I personally recommend it for all matrics, that you do not go straight into studying because you actually don't really know what you want to do.
And you might blind yourself from finding your actual passion.
Exactly.
Wow.
Love
exactly.
That. Dropping
Thank you for saying that, by the way. I am a gap year child, so thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Listen, this conversation is incredible and it's going to carry on. So I want to say thank you firstly for being out here and sharing this great insight. But Mzansi, don't go anywhere. We're going to dive into a conversation about how to deal with this and some more practical advice. But first up, we've built ourselves up an appetite.
Now, of course, that journey has to begin somewhere. And for some of us, I think parents pretty nervous about our kids starting school, for some tomorrow. But I think a lot of kids going back to school now, and they're going to need that energy, that platform to launch themselves through their day. And a balanced breakfast becomes imperative, serving as literally the fuel that not only boosts our cognitive function, but is also going to help our kids maintain their optimal energy levels, which is essential for learning, for socializing, for playing, which are all equally important in young people's lives. And here to serve us some healthy advice on how to feed our kids the most nutritious breakfasts, get that balance right, is registered dietitian and our good friend Kath McGaw. Kath, how are you?
Good, and you?
Oh, very good, thanks. Brand new year, lots of little ones to empower, lots of parents to empower, because it is a team effort. We've spoken about this a lot, and I think I've been on this massive kind of calorie journey, trying to understand what breakfast is, what our calorie load is, how much energy do we need, and then trying to apply that same logic to my kids, and understanding that their slate is so clean. They start almost with a fresh slate every day. They need the energy, they need the breakfast. Why is that so important?
Well, I think the reality is breakfast is breaking the overnight fast. So, and kids generally go to bed early, and so they have a long gap between supper and the next morning, and then they go off to school. It's a challenge because it's so early. Often these children have to wake up, get fed, get dressed. It's a rush in the morning, and so it can be a big challenge.
What happens if we don't get it right? I know a child can kind of supplement with a snack every now and then, but if they're not getting that rhythm and that kind of, that they themselves aren't embracing that, what are the dangers of not having a good breakfast?
So the risks is obviously that the brain needs the fuel for energy, and in order to function and be cognitively awake and aware of what's going on in the learning environment, they need that fuel for the brain. And even a child waking up saying, I'm not hungry, is realistic in that they don't feel hungry until they start to eat. So sometimes giving them a little bit of water just to wake up their stomach and just to let their brain realize that they actually need something will elicit hunger and make breakfast that much easier to serve.
And we're not giving them a full English every morning. Maybe they can have that on a Sunday. We don't want to give them a meal that's so big that it's drawing energy to process it. You don't want them sitting there all lazy in class because they're still processing 100 grams of protein in their belly. We need that balance right. What is a well-balanced breakfast in your mind?
So definitely include in one of your dairy products if your child can tolerate dairy. So for example, yogurt is wonderful for breakfast with a bit of fruit, so something fresh with good nutrition and vitamin C, a good healthy grain that you can incorporate. So a good like oats porridge, for example, cooked with some milk, so you've got the protein from your milk. You could have some children like more finger food at breakfast, so you could do like cheese slices alongside some fruit as well. Some children struggle with chewing and they're just so slow getting to their through their breakfast. You might want to give them a smoothie, and then you can
blitz it up.
incorporate
Yeah.
yogurt and fruit and all those good nutrition in a smoothie. It's quicker, it's easier to drink, and it's often more appealing in the morning.
And with those kind of finger foody, snacky foods or a shake, something like that, they can build it themselves, which
Yes.
often gets them to do it. If they're invested, we've spoken a lot about being mutually invested in the process so that they want to kind of enjoy the outcome. What should we avoid? What are some no-nos early in the morning or first thing for our children?
Well, you want to avoid your sugary products. Anything with high sugar is going to cause them to have this rise and then drop them just at the time where their brains need to activate in the learning process. So I would really caution from very refined starches, very sugary starches early on in the morning.
Nothing too processed. If you can keep it whole food, do
Correct.
that. A little bit of the things that they love is a good way of hiding the stuff that they need to have.
And I think also planning. So breakfast is easier when it's planned the night before. So if you're going to, don't negotiate in the morning with a child that's barely awake. Rather do it the night before. So we're going to plan your breakfast for tomorrow. What's it going to look like? These are the choices you can choose from. Let them pre-plan it so that the next morning they get there aware of what's going to be in front of them.
And I love that because it becomes a safe option for them. It becomes something that they prep for. I think kids, you often struggle with them with that negotiation, and I think that's parenting 101. So thanks for that little reminder, not just when nutrition comes into play, but all the time. You've got to manage that balance. Oh, thank you so much. I'm sure we're going to speak to you a lot over the coming months, certainly over the coming weeks. I know it's a busy time for you. So good luck, all the best for 2024. Thank you for that plug-in. Hopefully you guys have taken something out of that. And the bottom line is just finding that balance, I think. So you want to stock your pantry with the right staples, then breakfast will become a breeze. I love the idea of planning the night before and involve your child. And of course, with Clover in your corner, they've got an extensive range of some really yummy cheeses, milk yogurts, which are really easy and nutritious. And they've got some great drinks that are going to give a variety to your child, which I think helps a lot. So it's going to create a new and nutritious menu that will fuel your kids with all the right kind of goodness to conquer the school days with confidence, because we want them to go out and conquer.
Thanks a lot, G. And coming up in your Feel Good Breakfast Show, we have our experts on the couch chatting to you about how to stay calm in the midst of you receiving your matric results. Plus, we have to run an errand. Erin Elliott is here, our performer, and she'll be performing something fantastic for you. In fact, a couple of tracks, so make sure you stay there to your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
From the freshest fruit full of vitamins. Crush it real good. Clover Crush, your daily goodness. Also in delicious new nectar.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso here on S3, and we're continuing our discussion about how to handle matric results and what comes next, focusing on those feelings, practical steps more importantly. And this is for you, the dear student or parent of the student. It's a big moment and we want to make sure you're prepared. We've got two very talented people on our couch, and this is why we need to continue the conversation. Let's start off with our counsellor, Dietary van Zyl, who is here as well. So I just wanted to ask you about considering different options, you know, and actually ushering in a bit of a scenario where the matriculant can be part of those options, because perhaps you've been forced to do one thing. When I say forced, as in encouraged to, I should use, to do one thing, get your matric and then go study. But now the same person that has encouraged that, the results have shown a different path. For you as a counsellor, how do we handle that situation with care, parent to student and student to parent?
Well, so I think the first important thing is to look at, when you look at your grades, it's important to look at how you got that grade, right?
Yes.
So not just look at, okay, I got 80% for English and 80% for math, and, you know, so I must be good at both of those. But rather look at the process. Like maybe you had to work really, really hard and it was like struggling to get that 80 for math. Okay. But the 80 for English just kind of came easily for you and you actually enjoyed it, right? So that would mean that you're actually leaning more towards, you know, the linguistics or language side of it, right? So that's the first part. And I think another important part about that is to actually gather as much information about yourself as you can, right? And that's part of that. So you want to try and understand, what are your interests? Are you interested in the more practical stuff? Or are you really interested in sort of caring for people? Like what are your interests? What does your personality look like as well? That's very important. You know, are you extroverted or are you introverted? And there's a bunch of other personality traits. And then the last thing, which I think parents sometimes miss, is you've got to look at your values as well. Like, do you value problem solving, or do you value trying to understand things, you know? Or maybe you value caring, right? Yes. So those are three very different occupational paths, right? And once you get a feeling for that, you know, once you get to understand yourself a little bit better, then you actually go and look at the information about all the possible occupations you might be interested in. And finally, you want to put the two together and see how does it match up, right? And look at the work environment as well. Will my personality fit in here? Is this part of my interests, you know? And then does my grade support that, right?
Nice. That sounds like a great project for student and parent to do. That sounds really good. A good analysis on the future in that way, and I think that's great advice.
Yeah, look, I love the fact that we're keeping this conversation practical right now, because literally that is something that is comforting in the same sense. Sha, maybe you can add to the sort of options we might have if we, let's say, don't get that bachelor's pass. Maybe it's just a diploma or certificate. Do we have options number one? Are those options equally as good, if not better? And are they, like, I think for me, are there any sort of differences between the two that are actually that notable, to be very honest?
I just want to put it out there. A degree is not the be-all and end-all of life. Please, I have friends who do not have degrees who way out-earn me, like way out-earn me. So it just shift that whole mindset. You know, there is a lot more out there that you can do. And what I really wanted to say is something that people don't think about is actually how few people can actually afford to study, and that you can actually study while working. So you could leave matric and you could find a company that actually educates its employees, and you can actually start work, start earning money, because there's a lot of kids who actually do want to earn money straight away. And you can get yourself on a really good career path. My sister did that. She went to work for a hotel. She worked her butt off for an entire year. Then she managed to get a bursary to actually study. So there's a lot of options out there. It's not just degree, 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 degree. You can do an apprenticeship. You can do lots of different things.
Thank you for that. That's power. But I think just as a last note, as the results come through, you know, there are potential outcomes, of course. How do we ready the individual, the parents, the family, or the structure around them for whatever result may come? Just a little anecdote from each one of you that would be powerful just to kind of take on ahead of the results being received by these students.
You want to go first?
Anyone. In the backyard. You know what? I would just say, just chill and just go with the flow, because what happens is going to happen. Just give it time to percolate. relax, think about what your next steps are going to be, and just take your time. It will unfold.
Yeah, I think part of that is also, like we spoke about earlier, is look at it as part of the process, right?
All right.
So it's not the end, it's part of the process. It's an opportunity for you to kind of recalibrate, right, if you were disappointed. And then the second thing, and this is the total best way to actually manage your stress if you get a little bit stressed out, is try and get out of your head and try and get into your body, right? So, you know, and do this routinely, right? So get into the sea, you know, and jump in, cold plunges, go and work out, all of those things to get you out of this mental spiral and right into the moment, right, through your body, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely sage advice. I can't thank you both enough for coming through, especially on a pertinent day like this where everybody's stressing and anxious, but I think that is no more. Why? Because we've got options. You've got so many things that you can do no matter what the result. Just go with it, flow with it, and make sure that you're present in your decisions. For now, though, it's time to be present in the news headlines, and here's G-Man with the latest.
Oh, thank you so much, gents. Exactly 2 minutes past 7. Let's dive in with our national news headlines first, and very much feeding off what we've been chatting about this morning. The newly announced funding scheme of the Student Aid Scheme, NSFAS, for so-called missing middle-class students means that the government will now fund almost 100% of students in the post-school education and training sector. NSFAS has allocated 3.8 billion rand for students from households that earn too much to obtain scholarships, but too little to acquire bank loans. And the additional 11% will then represent the middle-class students. 70% of the money is earmarked for mathematics and science fields of study, as well as entrepreneur programs. We love the sound of that. Now, staying in South Africa, the Council for Quality Assurance in Education, Umalusi, has approved the results of the 2023 matric examination and endorsed their integrity and credibility. So Umalusi's chief executive, Mafu Rakometsi, says the standard of some papers translated from English to Afrikaans was not up to expectations and resulted in learners not being able to answer certain questions. Well, despite this, the exams did go well in a general sense, and no papers were leaked, which is a big mark of success. Umalusi says 16% of the examination results were adjusted upwards, 18% downwards, and the examination results of 66% of the subjects were left unchanged. Once again, we say good luck to all those matriculants getting their results today, and keep it in perspective if you don't get the result you were looking for. Now let's cast a wider gaze, and the US military says it has shot down a missile fired towards one of its warships from a Houthi area of Yemen. So the anti-ship cruise missile was downed by a US fighter aircraft. No injuries or damages were reported in the incident, thankfully, and this after the US and the UK both launched strikes aimed at degrading the military capability of the Houthis, who of course have been attacking Red Sea cargo ships. President Joe Biden had said, and we quote, hesitate to direct further measures to protect the free flow of international commerce as necessary. Now, a little bit closer to home on our continent, at least, inflation in Nigeria has risen to its highest rate in more than 27 years. The National Bureau of Statistics said the rate that prices were increasing over the year was up for the 12th straight month now. And on average, the price of goods has risen to just under 29% compared to just a year ago. And the Statistics Office said the rise in cost of basic foodstuffs, including bread, fruit and eggs, was even higher. Analysts say higher fuel prices and a weaker currency, the Naira, have also contributed to the rise. Now, here's the SA connection as we take an entertainment turn. Black Coffee, the Grammy Award-winning South African DJ, has posted some positive updates after sustaining injuries on a flight last week. He was involved in what has been termed a severe incident en route to a club performance in Mar del Plata in Argentina. So his plane was forced to make an emergency landing at an airport in Uruguay's capital, Montevideo. Yesterday morning, Black Coffee, whose real name is Nkosanati Innocent Mapulo, he used a series of emojis to update his fans on social media platform X, as one does. Fans have taken the house bandaged heart and prayer hands emojis to mean that he is recovering back at home, thankfully. And the 47-year-old is, of course, one of the continent's most successful entertainers, and he's got a lot to give, so we need him to stick around. But great to hear that he's on the mend. That's where we leave our news headlines. Let's see how our sporting stars are faring.
Thanks a lot, G. Let's take a look at your sporting action, and starting with football. Argentinian star Lionel Messi secured the Best FIFA Men's Player of the Year trophy for the second consecutive time. The former PSG forward outshone Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe for the prestigious award. Messi, who lifted the 2022 World Cup with Argentina, also helped PSG claim the Ligue 1 title before joining MLS team Inter Miami. And of course, Aitana Bonmati, a key player in Spain's 2023 World Cup victory, was named the best women's player, while Pep Guardiola of Manchester City the best men's coach accolade as well. Now let's stay with football. The very exciting AFCON. Defending champion Senegal made a resounding statement at AFCON with a commanding 3-0 victory. That's against Gambia. Papa Gueye set the tone with a 4th-minute goal, and Gambia's Ibo Adams saw red in the first half stoppage time. Lamine Camara doubled Senegal's lead in the 52nd minute, and his impressive curling effort in the 86th minute sealed the decision 3-0 victory. Of course, the decisive 3-0 victory, I should say, and what a result for them. Now, don't forget, you can catch all the action from AFCON on SABC with Tunisia up against Namibia, and that'll be at 6:30 p.m. Don't miss it. Let's head on over to cricket action. Durban's Super Giants secured a thrilling 37-run victory by overcoming the Joburg Super Kings at a dramatic SA20 clash at Kingsmead. Now, opting to bat first, the Super Giants faced an early setback at 34 for 4, but recovered to post 145 for 8 with the help of man of the match. That's Heinrich Klaassen scoring 64 of 41. In response, the Super Kings seemed poised for victory at 33 without loss. However, a remarkable turnaround saw the Super Giants defend their total and earn themselves a crucial bonus point. On to tennis. Naomi Osaka's Grand Slam comeback took an early exit as she lost 6-4, 7-6 to Caroline Garcia in the Australian Open's first round. The French 16th seed secured the victory with a single break in the opening set and a dominant performance in the second set tiebreak. And Osaka, 4-time Grand Slam champ, had taken a hiatus in September 2022, citing mental health concerns, returning for the 2024 season after giving birth to her baby girl. But of course, all the action continues in the tennis world over there. That is it for your sporting action. I know that you may be heading off to, I'm going to say the W word, work. But there's some traffic to look out for. Raul's got those details.
Thank you so much, Carlitos. Yes, let's dive into the world of traffic right now. And not too much going on, but definitely something happening in Pretoria in the Gauteng area. Now, there is a stationary vehicle on the N1 southbound after the Proefplaas interchange. Now, the left lane is closed, so if you're in the area, as you can see from the visuals as well, please do drive carefully. Well, that's all the advice we have for you right now. But again, if you're on the roads, buckle up, stay safe and plan accordingly. We now head to the skies and see what's happening the latest when it comes to weather. Now, diving into the world of weather right now, and search and rescue teams are continuing to hunt for the body of a 23-year-old man who was swept away while crossing a river in Verulam in the eThekwini metro area at the weekend. Now, this as it continues to be a race against the clock for rescue teams searching for missing flood victims in Durban. Now, the public is also advised that severe thunderstorms and disruptive rainfall leading to flooding can be expected in places until Friday. Now, 11 people have lost their lives in torrential downpours across the province, which also caused destruction and damage to infrastructure. Now, coastal areas such as Lelusha and Mshlanga Rocks were among the hardest hit. Well, from our weather news, we dive into our sunrise views. And this sunrise view of the hour was sent in by our birthday boy. We're talking about Gary Orkamp in the building. He's celebrating his birthday. From everybody at the studio, Gary, happy birthday, brother! Yes, please. And an absolutely beautiful birthday shot being shared here overlooking the rocks out into the coast. What magic, Gary. Thank you so much for sharing so much with us. We really, truly do appreciate you. And keep it coming, Mzansi. The number is 063-408-8860. Gary, for you, I hope you have an absolutely incredible day. For now, though, let's see exactly how incredible your day will be with those temperatures in your side of town.
So we are all about getting you prepped for the year ahead, and for many that means leaving school and entering a new phase of life. So what are your options? We've got the incredible Dr. Laura Fisher from the equally incredible Boston City campus here to give us yet another plug-in to just look at some of those options and put it all in perspective. Then the fantastic Erin Elliott is here to perform just for me this morning. No, for everybody. She is here to share a lot of love and a lot of energy, just what we need at the start of a new year. We have got your plug-in after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back. It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Health Tuesday has never felt any better. We've been serving you this morning and we're going to carry on doing exactly that, especially in light of this overwhelming feeling of the 2023 matric results which are coming through. Yes, so we're going to be exploring what these results really mean. And Dr. Laura Fisher, an educational expert, is joining us to shed light on the importance of these results and the various opportunities that they open. So officially, good morning. How are we doing?
Good morning. Very well, thank you.
Oh, it's good to have you.
Aloha, Doc.
Aloha.
Okay, welcome back from Hawaii. We need you in South Africa right now because you're helping us steer the course.
Yeah.
And I think for young people at this particular gateway, there is so much pressure, self-imposed, not necessarily just from parents or whatever it's society, yes, but you want it for yourself.
Yes.
You just don't know what's available. And I thought maybe a good place to start would be with the general picture of where we're at. Are there trends that are driving changes in education? When we think about what the matrics, the world that they are moving into now, a lot has changed since I came out of matric and Ryle came out of that journey. What's different?
Yeah.
How does it look now?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there is a major shift in the educational landscape. And I think that has been driven largely by the kind of increased awareness of AI in our world and what that's going to mean for future work, and also what it means for how we perform in matric. You know, the way we used to think about academic achievement and educational success is actually required to change because the world of work is beginning to change.
And sorry, just to jump off this, because every facet of life is dealing with AI at the moment, and it's kind of released the genius. Because you don't have to just do parrot fashion learning anymore, because a lot of that kind of crunching can be done. It's terrifying, I think, for a lot of parents who don't know about it. Does this mean that we should all be rushing out and looking for an AI backup, or is it just a shift in the way that we think?
Yeah, I think that, you know, it needs to be held in tension. So on the one hand, it is still very important that we do our best in testing environments, like in our matric exams. But on the other hand, our matric exams don't necessarily best test the critical skills that we need for the future.
For sure.
Problem solving, critical thinking, resilience, determination, you know, all of those sorts of skills are somewhat captured in an exam, but also move far and beyond what you're able to score necessarily in an exam scenario. So I think we shouldn't all be running out for AI backup, but we should acknowledge, well, a lot of the knowledge base exists out there, and it's more about how we leverage and access and use this tool of AI to serve our own purposes and our own aspirations as individuals and corporately as humanity.
The outcome.
Yeah.
Think about the outcome.
With that outcome being quite important right now, and especially the result of matric exams being so pertinent and such a big thing placed on kids, how exactly does this actually prepare us for the world and this landscape of new jobs that exist? There's so many different types of jobs out there. There's these non-traditional types of work and just new jobs that you never even thought of.
Yeah.
How does this even relate to matric results these days? Is it affecting it in a way where we can say, well, this equals that, or is it completely different?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's a little bit of both and. You know, obviously your matric examination score is important and you should be proud of doing well. And just to applaud all of the teachers and scholars who have got through their 2023 matric, I think it's a phenomenal feat. But I think you're asking the right question, you know, what does it mean within a less traditional context? And I think, firstly, it really showcases to the person themselves where their strengths are and possibly where their limitations are. You know, it can demonstrate their commitment to achieving a desired outcome, and that takes determination, and that's going to put them in good stead for the future. It also reflects their interests and their passions, which is valuable in steering the course for your career. And I think it really shows evidence of a solid foundation and an ability to learn, which obviously employers of all different types are going to highly value as a person moves into the world of work.
Okay.
And they speak to who we are. I love this notion of understanding yourself before you make those big decisions. The thought that you're going to plot your life out before you've finished matric is absurd. It's absurd to think along those lines. And I often think back, I did terribly at Latin, okay? I don't know if you can still do it even in schools now. But I go back to the learnings in the classical culture of Latin more than any other subject. You don't know what you're going to garner out of that until you know yourself. You have the opportunity to do online courses. Now that we've had this crash course in who we are, what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, how can we use online courses and that kind of self-improvement where we can be quite focused on ourselves and what we want? How do we get the best out of that landscape?
Yeah, I mean, you're making me have a bit of a chuckle thinking of Latin. The only Latin phrase I know is carpe diem, which is seize the day, which is maybe really what it's all about.
All you need, baby,
you know,
all you need.
There's a world of online courses available. You just have to visit somewhere like Boston City Campus's website and you find out, wow, there's a whole lot of online short learning programs, one-year qualifications, and these enable you to really, as you say, get to know yourself better, dig into the skills that you have, and really apply yourself no matter what your matric score is. So I think the world of online and ongoing education is more and more accessible. It's affordable, it's flexible. You can take courses that really spike and hone your interests and your passions. And it also demonstrates, again, a commitment to ongoing growth. That I don't get to the end of school and, wow, I'm finished with my growth journey and my learning journey. But actually, as the previous speakers said, you know, this is about a journey towards becoming who you were created to be. So definitely in terms of the online courses, carpe diem.
Carpe diem.
Seize the day.
The only Latin I can remember is ecce in pictura est puella nomine Flavia, which is, look, in the picture there was a girl named Flavia.
Wow, that's true. profound.
We've done it. I absolutely love this. It is important because it matters to you, not to society, not to your mates who you are competing with in your class, not to your teachers, not to your parents. It must matter to you because learning is vitally important and a skill that you're going to continue to use throughout the rest of your life. I love it.
100% indeed. I want to thank you again, Doc, for coming through, for
Absolute
sharing this
pleasure.
advice with us right now. I hope you can also breathe and look forward to these results because it's a step in all the right directions. It's only that, nothing else. But for now, though, start to chat to you and find out exactly what you think about these matric results that are looming.
I love it when G speaks foreign. Honestly. But I also love it when you give advice to some matrics who will receive some results. Thank you. We are a community on your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and there have been some little tidbits that you may want to read into that have been sent through to us. Now, let's take a look at a few of them. First, Daphne, thanks a lot for weighing in. We appreciate you. As long as you have done your best, there's nothing more you can do, so relax and be grateful for your results and plan your next chapter. That is powerful, Daphne. Thank you for your time. Gary Oakham, birthday boy, is all over the place today. We need to send you cake. No amount of guilt or regret can change the past. No amount of anxiety will change the future. So just be okay with the results of the work you put into your exams. Hashtag Expresso Show. Thank you. And then we have a voice note, a little bit of advice for any matric receiving results today. This is Leanne.
My advice for the matrics is not to be nervous about their results. There's nothing you can do about it now. But if you are not happy with your results, it's up to you if you would like to improve it. All the best, matrics.
Thank you so much. And it's so true because you need to look at pace. And I think I want to echo one of our experts today, our educational psychologist who was on our couch earlier, Dr. Sharon Aitken, who said it is not a race. It's part of the process and the journey. You can pivot, you'll change, you'll move across to a different path. Things can happen, but of course, as long as you trust yourself and you move forward, things are going to be fine. All the best with receiving your results, and of course, share them with the world if you're really proud of them as well. Why not? It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show here to support you.
Right, so we want you to get ready for the sweetest ever competition of the year, any year in fact, thanks to Bayers. You have a chance to win a dream getaway to the City of Love. Say it.
Oh, Paris, baby.
Paris. Yep, it's an amazing prize. And of course, the competition dynamic couldn't be better.
It's incredible because it starts like this, right? So firstly, you purchase any sweetie pie. Now, what does that mean, right? Because we've got options, mate. We've got options. We've got a sweetie pie like this. We've got milk chocolate balls.
You don't understand. So we've got peanut milk chocolate balls. This is like combining three of my favorite things in one thing.
Wafer bars. We've got the classics. We've got a box of all the goodies. I mean, you've got options here just on that first step alone, right?
Oh, man, I absolutely love it. Now, I'm still trying to move past when we saw all the sweetie pies being made on the production line yesterday. And I think I dreamt about it last night. But however you get your sweetie pie, the most important thing is you've got to keep your till slip. Then you've got to scan the QR code in-store or online to complete your entry form.
Yeah, now 1 entry per till slip. Don't forget that.
Okay.
The competition closes on the 12th of February, and then your T's and C's apply. Pretty much as simple as that. And the best part is there's no losers. Why? Because, at the end of the day, you get a sweetie pie.
You even get love doubles. So if you're in trouble, you could give it, yeah?
That's a winner. Oh, that's a winner. I'm here for that. What else is here, man?
Oh, yeah.
What?
That's a sweet competition, it really is. But of course, as you know, when it comes to sweetie pies, we're going to have to burn off some of the calories. So we've got Angelique here who's going to give you some of the most incredible workouts ever. And talking about workouts, we also love our local artist too. And Erin Elliott is here. And as you can see, very excited to give you a Robin Thicke cover a little bit later. So make sure you stay there. Fitness and talent only on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We actually missed you, eh? So I'm glad you stayed there. I'm glad, eh? Hey, you stayed there. I appreciate it. You know, you could have left, but you came here, and I appreciate that. So we have a reward for you, which is rising star Erin Elliott. She continues to make waves in the music industry with her empowering and vibrant sound. She is set to captivate audiences once again with her latest single, which is Mirror Talk, following the success of her debut single, Lucky Girls. If you think about Erin, Erin's kind of like somebody who just has happy all over, right? Like a nest of happy.
You feel the happiness before you know she's in the room.
Exactly, that's it. Amazing. And of course, she's going to grace our stage with her super talent. So just welcome to the one and only Erin Elliott. Come on.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Sound like a Marvel character. Erin Elliott, right?
Thanks so much for having me.
You have an amazing name. You name your songs amazingly well as well. You've just got it, girl. You've got it.
Thank you so much.
Do you have it this year? Welcome to 2024,
Yeah, I'm
Erin
excited.
Elliott. How are you feeling about the year ahead?
I'm so excited. We've got a lot going on, a lot in store for 2024.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is great, but we always have to ask musicians this. All right, so if you want to answer differently, you're welcome.
Alrighty.
But you know the love of music, because I know that you have other interests, other business interests as well, but the love of music has to start somewhere.
Yes.
And for you, who is the person who said to you, Erin, you should take this seriously?
Pushed you over the edge.
Yeah, so I think my love for music really came from my dad. So from a very, very young age, he was super musical, played the 12-string guitar, harmonicas, played both at the same time. So I kind of grew up around that old school rock vibe.
Yes.
And that was just always in me. And I kind of strayed from music a little bit, focused on business, family, and last year I decided I'm going to give this absolutely everything that I've got and invest all my energy and passion into writing again, releasing music. And yeah, it's my friends and family that really pushed me to do it at this stage, yeah.
It's always crazy to me when we see people who are this talented, and you think, why have you not been doing this your whole life? But you forget that music is one part of the person that you are.
Yeah.
When you look back over the catalogue of music, the times that you've connected with it, it must be different for each version of Erin as your life progresses. Do you still sing old music? Do you still connect with old songs? How does the music tie into kind of this world?
Yeah, I think, you know, with it still being very new and I'm still figuring out my sound, it's very interesting because things that I'm releasing now, I recorded a while ago, and what I'm working on now is completely different.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of my influence comes from those early 2000s, because that's what I kind of grew up with. So there's definitely an influence in that in my newer stuff, but that's not going to be released.
Is what you're saying. So you're going to have a bit of a Linkin Park vibe.
Yeah, I just scream. I just scream.
That's good. It's wow.
Yes, a lot of Avril Lavigne. Yes,
Avril did that.
Simpson vibes. You know, that kind of era.
We love
This is good, but let's talk about how that era and your life has influenced a song like Mirror Talk, because that's something that is quite powerful. I mean, as Graham said, you name your song so well. Mirror Talk is something that we all have to deal with. Is that where this particular track came from and its lyrics? Was it about the self-talk?
So my first single was Lucky Girls, and that was all about feeling insecure, and that was kind of about my story about why I'd never done music before. And Mirror Talk is kind of the opposite of that. That's giving yourself a pep talk, telling yourself that you can do it. It's something when you've got big moments, you can say those things to yourself. You know, like coming on the Expresso show.
Because it matters, and it really does.
Affirmations.
You know, it's affirmations, but in musical form.
And thank you for doing that, because I think you guys don't realize how much of the processing you do on our behalf.
Yes.
You go through all the emotional turmoil, put it down in words so that we can process ourselves. So thank you for taking that on board. This is one version of you, and I think we've got to thank the kids, the younger kids of today, for showing us that you can literally be everything.
Yes.
You've got a diverse portfolio.
Yes.
How does the rest of the stuff fit in? Do you do your own photographic work? Do you promote it? How do you kind of manage Erin as the
I'm a very busy lady, but I think at my core I'm a creative. So in the other businesses that I have, in other areas, hobbies, anything that I do, it always stems from creativity. And that's why in music, my favorite part is the creation process. So writing, sitting with a producer, kind of creating something, is my favorite part. And I think that's kind of something that speaks into everything that I do.
For sure.
Well, Erin, I think it's time to get your name up in neon lights. and get you onto our stage. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
What are you going to perform for us?
Yeah.
I'm going to start with Mirror Talk.
Yes, please.
Yep, I'm going to start with Mirror Talk.
Okay, this is good. It's going to be a nice reflective song, as you may know. So let's enjoy it. Could you please go and take the stage? We appreciate you.
Take your moment in the sun. I love it when we get to send people off.
We should do more often.
And we do. I think we really have the best job in the world. We get a private performance every single day. But when we say that these performers do the emotional heavy lifting for us, they really do. There is an opportunity for you to plug in and just let the emotion out.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think Erin is going to not let us do that with this performance. Yes, it's time to face ourselves with a little mirror talk.
All right, so this is called Mirror Talk. It is all about the pep talk that you need to give yourself in those big moments when you don't feel like you're ready for them.
Don't trip, this is your moment. You just gotta own it. Take it all in. You've got pride on your shoulders. This beauty and boldness. Where to begin? Every day I feel it from the start. Asking who's gonna pick me up now? And all the way I start to fall apart. And it's too late to turn this around. Gotta smash that mirror talk. 1, you got the personality. 2, you got the front row energy. 3, you bring the party. 4, not scared to ride a Hartley. 5, you can do anything. 6, you can be the queen or the king. 7, you're a rhythm, so let it just set in. Don't trip, this is your moment. You just gotta own it. Take it all in. You've got pride on your shoulders. This beauty and boldness. Where to begin? In every way, I'm like a falling star, and I'm trying to glitter again. All along, I follow my whole heart, and I'm gonna let it lead me right in. What about that mirror talk? 1, you got the personality. 2, you got the front row energy. 3, you bring the party. 4, not scared to ride a Hartley. 5, you can do anything. 6, you can be the queen or the king. 7, you're a rhythm, so let it just set in. Don't trip, this is your moment. You just gotta own it. Take it all in. You've got pride on your shoulders. This beauty and boldness. Where to begin? You've got something to live for. Forget what you planned for. You just gotta live. Don't stop living your boldness. This life is a bonus. What more could it give? You got that mirror talk. Don't trip, this is your moment. You just gotta own it. Take it all in. You've got pride on your shoulders. This beauty and boldness. Where to begin? Don't trip, this is your moment. You just gotta own it. Take it all in. You've got pride on your shoulders. This beauty and boldness. Where to begin?
And that's Mirror Talk. Thanks so much, guys. Thank you. My next song is called Lust Without You. I'm going to bring the energy all the way down. I'm sorry. But this is a song that's really special to me. It's one of my favorite songs, so I hope you love it.
Standing on a platform, watching you go. It's like no other pain that I'll ever know. To love someone so much, you lose all control. You say you wanna see the world, and I said go. But I think I'm lost without without you. I just feel crushed without you. I've been strong for so long, but I never thought how much I needed you. I think I'm lost without you. Strangers rushing past, just trying to get home. You were the only safe haven that I've known. Hits me at full speed, feels like I can't breathe, and nobody knows this pain inside me. Feels like I can't breathe. I should never let you go, but I think I'm lost without you. Think I'm lost, lost, lost. Think I'm lost without you. I just feel crushed without you. I've been strong for so long, but I never thought how much I love you. Standing on a platform, watching you go. You say you want to see the world, and I said, go.
Okay, can we just officially say, wow, that was absolutely incredible. I'm still dealing with the goosebumps here, but Mzansi, you don't need to go anywhere because there's still so much to look forward to. Firstly, Aaron, that was incredible. Thank you so much. But Mzansi, don't go anywhere because we're still keeping the theme of health going right now. And it's not just the entertainment that we're getting excited for, because we're talking about a stone fruit summer. Yeah, Chef Clem's coming through with something summer-inspired involving stone fruit. And then if you've got questions this year, if you want to get that lean body going on and you want all the tips and expertise when it comes to fitness and losing weight, well, then we've got someone special coming through. It goes by the name of Ange Doberman, and let me tell you, she's taking over the world of weight loss tips and making it fun and easy for you. So you don't need to go anywhere. We'll see you just after this.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And naturally, we missed you, which means we have some information for you. Now, at this time of the year, you know, everybody's talking about, like, you know, we need to get a bit leaner.
Let's get the gains, bro.
Get a bit meaner, you know. Let's get out there and get into the chana. So we have the founder of the Lean Girl brand, a brand that is completely on the up. It's a brand you have to get involved with because we have a women's nutrition and fitness coach, Angelique Doberman, who is here in studio to break the concept of what we think it means to lose weight. All right, she has taken the internet by storm by showing us simple swaps and debunking the idea of what we think are high-calorie foods. And it's about time the narrative is shifted because everybody thinks that the weight loss and what is a high-calorie food is so linear, man. Like, you know, we have those obvious things, but suddenly Angelique has lifted the lid on the truths behind these things, which is always good. So welcome and thank you.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm excited to be here. Yeah. Excited to share the things that I'm passionate about.
And I think what everybody is craving to know more of, I think especially this time of the year, everyone's like, listen, summer's here already, it's Jan, it's new year, new me, let's get these fitness goals going on. So I'm sure you've been getting a lot of interaction online of late.
We have. January is huge because I love the new energy where everyone is inspired and motivated. So I'm like, this is the time that we actually have to start and then get the momentum.
I love that. So let's talk about this incredible work you're doing. Obviously, the founder of Lean Girl. Let's talk about Lean Girl exactly. Why did you start it in the first place? How did it come to be? What was the inspiration behind it?
So my inspiration, I think, like a lot of people who create a community, was actually through my own struggles. So when I was younger, I was actually really overweight, and I pretty much spent a decade of my life dieting, struggling, yo-yo dieting, trying, you know, all the things, all the diets under the sun.
All the frustration as well.
All the frustration. And I then came to know that there's actually a science. Like, our bodies are biological machines. And there's actually a science to feeding them, optimizing them, fueling them. So I was like, listen, everyone needs to know about this because it changed my life and it changed where I wanted to go. And then I actually started sharing this online, started to just share my own journey. And then I was like, I actually would love to teach this. I'm so passionate about it. Like, still at every dinner party, like if there's food talk, I'm like, I'm there, food, fitness. I just want to share this with people. And I think there's still so many people that are struggling, so many people that are confused. So yeah, that's kind of how it all started.
Let's talk about the confusion. This is important because I think that a lot of people are confused about the concept of diets. Now, of course, you've shared this on your platform, all right? Not that I've checked, but I mean, 150, like 7,000, you know, on Instagram.
Let's just say you're a lean girl.
A couple of lean girls out here.
Just maybe part of the community a bit, you know what I'm saying? Working on my fitness, baby. But what do you think, in terms of your research with your community, are people struggling with the most when it comes to nutrition and understanding it, as well as exercise?
So I think let me start with the exercise piece. So I think one of the most challenging things when it comes to fitness is, firstly, people just worry about the calorie burn.
Yep.
And like in the workout we're going to do today, I'm going to share with you like why it is so important to actually get strong. And that is how you build a toned, hard, sculpted, strong body. And I think the second thing is consistency when it comes to exercise. So I think people overcommit to what they're going to do and they don't have a clear plan, like, what am I going to do? When am I going to do it? And they don't actually carve that time out to be like, it's barbed wire time. I've got to make it happen. And then I think when it comes to nutrition, it's the confusion, right? There's more information out there than ever before, but we're more confused than ever. So I feel like that's what I'm passionate about, simplifying things, going back to the science, going back to the facts, and then actually having fun with it. Because I think when most people think about fat loss, they're like, we're avoiding it. We don't want to do it. We don't want to start the diet because we think pain, torture, restriction. So actually it's like, how do we make it fun? And how do we make it something that's enjoyable? So we don't need the willpower, we don't need the discipline when I'm having protein pancakes for breakfast. So
makes sense.
You said pancakes, and that's fine.
You said pancakes. Where do I sign up? Now, obviously, there's a lot of misconceptions, I would imagine, when it comes to like dieting, when it comes to losing weight. And you talk a lot about calories, you talk a lot about like macros, and you talk a lot about like how to put in, I guess, healthy alternatives, right? More importantly for me, it's, I think, a mindset that people need to have about having a calorie deficit, right? Maybe we can elaborate on what exactly does that mean? Is it an effective tool to lose weight? Are there better strategies? Or is this really the science behind it all?
So why I love understanding calories and macros is it's actually really simple if you think of a budget analogy.
Okay.
So
stay with me. I want you to imagine that your body has a budget.
Yes.
The budget would be higher to maintain your weight, and if you want to lose fat, your budget's going to be a little bit lower.
Yeah.
Then every single food on the planet has a money amount attached to it, which is the calories. So a chocolate, it's more expensive in calories, in other words. So let's say a slab of chocolate, 500 calories, an apple, 100 calories. So the beauty of it is that you can actually include all those things into your budget. You've just got to be wise to be like, okay, is it worth spending my 500 calories on the chocolate? Or actually, I could have a big, beautiful salad or a big, beautiful burger for the same 500 calories. So once you start thinking of it in that simple way, you actually have more flexibility, more fun, and you can also get more predictable results, because that's the science.
Nice.
Yeah.
And maybe some consistency too for once.
This is great. For anybody who would like to learn a bit more and be part of your community, could you just reiterate your platform where we can find you and join the community? Because I feel like I need to join. I'm going to unfollow, then follow again. Because, no, this is inspiring. So to anybody who just wants to get a better inspo, wants to lose a bit of weight but have some fun with it, how do we follow you? Where do we go?
So the best place would be Instagram.
Yep.
I share daily tips, recipes, everything that you need to know is on Instagram. And we have an amazing community. Because I think any kind of challenge, it's great to know that I'm not the only one.
Yes.
So bringing people together and be like, we're all in this, we're all working on it, we're all leveling up. So yeah, Instagram and my website, leangirlguide.com.
Oh, well, I absolutely love this. Thank you so much for coming through and having this conversation. But we're going to keep the conversation going and the moving going too. And like we've just said, now you're not alone. We can do this all together. Mzansi, I'm going to get changed. I'm going to get prepped for an incredible 2-part workout session.
What,
that's going to be happening. Yeah, man, we're doing it proper. We're getting the goals this year. So it's time to get a lean girl mantra going right now and get you prepared for summer, because Angie's here to surf.
So I'm getting my plug-in, to use the term once again, when it comes to healthy foods, and we've got some of the most delicious you can find right here in our studio. We are kicking the year off with some healthy eating and obviously some good nutritious food, which is essential. And what tastes better than fresh, juicy and plump to perfection stone fruit, grown locally in Limpopo, in the Northwest, the Western Cape. We've got, honestly, some of the best produce in the world, and Chef Clem knows that all too well. He is back with a stone fruit summer galette. Perfect for the summer heat. Is it a Gillette? Galette?
It's not a Gillette.
It's not a Gillette.
It's a... No, I forgot what it's called. It's a galette. It's a
galette. It is French. No, it's spectacular. It is what it is, because it is harnessing the best of the season, my friend.
And I'm going to tell you, hands down, I don't think you'll find a better nectarine, peach, stone fruit in general. And it's purely thanks to the South African sun.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. It's science, but it makes sense. Obviously, the sun gets hot, that excess moisture evaporates, it concentrates the sugars and natural flavors of the fruit.
So you get that lovely caramelization in the fruit.
You know, so South African fruit and vegetables just taste different. And this is a good example of it. And also, I feel like it's very romantic. Why? I find stone fruit very romantic. I really do. And I think it's kind of because, you know, when you get like the perfect ripe nectarine.
You had to go there. Okay, yeah. How do you know? How do you know a nectarine's ripe?
First of all, as I took this out the bag, I can already feel there's a little bit of a firm give in the flesh, if you know what I mean. So I know she's juicy, right? Then you use... Graham, why do you not have an...
Don't be walking around picking up nectarines in a shop now and doing this.
No, please don't, because then they're going to come after me and say, but you told them to do this. Okay, so then you...
it's just a soft little give. Okay, I get that.
Then you smell it, and you smell it. It should be like, it's almost like a perfume that just goes...
Summer, bam.
Summer, in your nose. And this, I want to say, because I do believe it, there's something in your brain gets released when you smell fruit this ripe.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm just happy. I don't want to work anymore. I'm just going to stand here and sniff nectarines.
Imagine if you were walking in the range and eating in days and you saw one of these fruit hanging from a tree. It would be...
And then you walk around in public, you're feeling sad. You're feeling a little gloomy because you have to go back to work. Put your hand in your pocket and pull out your nectarine and just...
Oh, buddy, I love it. So we know we are absolutely spoiled. Okay? And Woolies goes to great lengths to ensure that that incredible quality makes its way all the way to our table. All of this says to me, my friend, that we've got to honour this fruit then. If you're going to take it out of this beautiful form and make it into something else, you better be improving, okay? So no pressure.
No pressure. And what's nice about this galette is that you showcase the fruit. There's not a lot that's happening otherwise, except your pastry. It's all about the fruit. So let's talk about the pastry very quickly. We've got some butter, we've got some flour, just crumbled together. And you want to get your butter a little hot. You can kind of break it up. So you can get little nubbies of butter in the pastry. Then to that, we're going to go with a little bit of sugar, caster sugar. I don't need that much. There's a lot of sweetness happening in the nectarine, so you can
sorted.
just like a whisper of sugar. Is that a thing?
Just for a continuity of sweetness.
There we go.
Okay.
That's a very important thing because you can't be having something that's just not sweetened at all because then it throws off the flavor.
No,
so you want the touch of
biscuit with fruit on it.
What did you say? It's a what of? It's a what of sweetness?
It's a pastry biscuit with a continuity of sweetness.
Continuity of sweetness. There we go. Okay.
So, you know, some kids going to use that with their mom now. They're going to be eating a chocolate in the car. They're going to be like, "What are you doing?" Oh, it's a continuity of sweetness, Mom. I just need to carry myself to
the cereal. The continuity of sweet. No, sour cream. We don't use sour cream in pastries that often. Delicious. It's not about the tang that it adds, it's about the texture that it gives the pastry. So sour cream, use it, it's amazing. Again, it's talking about the romanticizing of nectarines. I think it's also about the way that you eat it, especially when it's like super ripe.
It's got to be juicy.
You got to get that juicy drip down the arm. And now's the time that you get that. This is stone fruit season.
If you're not splashing yourself in the face with water after you've eaten a nectarine, you've done it wrong, okay?
A good nectarine is one that you have to eat in the shower.
Yeah. Now you're taking it
there. We go. We just
bring a whole bag of nectarines, get into the shower, and just go crazy.
Don't send us photos. Just let us know how it was. Okay, so the pastry, once it comes together just like a ball like this, what I do is I let it sit up for a little bit, and you'll find that the moisture will hydrate the flour and it'll become a lot easier to work with.
Okay.
I just put the whole thing in the fridge, and this will live in your fridge. It's now 2024. You can be pulling this out the freezer in 2027.
Really?
Dead serious. Just make sure that it's wrapped properly and it's in a space in the freezer. The temperature's not going to fluctuate too much. So put it right in the back.
It's safe as houses.
And then you're right there, pastry, because things start looking the same in the freezer.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, you flour your surface. And this is a very forgiving pastry. You can use this as a general short crust pastry for any type of sweet pie. And then obviously take out the sugar if you want to do a savory one. So a little bit of flour goes down on your surface.
And I suppose it's worth taking the time to get the pastry just right because, as you say, this is very much about a kind of a platform for the fruit. We're not going to be putting a huge amount of anything else in
Exactly.
it. So this needs to be that sounding board, yeah?
There we go. Talking about the fruit, can you?
Yes.
We've got some beautiful yellow flesh nectarines.
Oh,
and I'm keeping the skin on. Texture. It's about the texture.
Sure.
So if I can ask you if you can add a little bit of sugar to it. Here we go. Let's do it like this.
Okay.
We've got some sugar. We've got some corn flour and a little bit of salt. Like a
pinchy.
We always add salt when baking. It's just to bring out the flavor of the ingredients that we're actually using.
Everything that's in there. It's not just the salty stuff.
Corn flour.
All the corn flour.
There we go. And what that's going to do is, as the nectarines release their natural sugars and the liquids inside the nectarine, the corn flour is going to help it bind and give you like a beautiful texture, saucy texture on the inside.
Brilliant. Okay, and then can I just mix these with this?
You do that, yeah. If you can do this like 5 minutes ahead of time, you'll see some of that liquid will start coming out.
Ooh, let the funkiness kick in. You want the juices to mix with the sugars to create the natural syrup.
There we go.
Oh, this is going to be
that's amazing. Try this with plums. Try it with peaches. What else? What other stone fruit do you? Cherries.
Oh, I hadn't thought of that,
Yes,
hey? And these days you can get cherries that are just about as big as these nectarines.
And
so you're
bursting with flavor. Okay, once you have a rough, and it doesn't have to be like perfect 360-degree circle.
I think rustic looks better.
Rustic is the vibe. That looks good. Can I get that?
Yeah, you can get it.
You know what? A little bit of vanilla.
Can you get a whoop, whoop?
Just to like accentuate the fruity flavors and to make it a little tropical.
Yeah,
there we go.
Just go all in.
There we go.
Carpe diem, my friend.
Thank you so much. Oh, it smells amazing.
I know. The amount my mouth is watering, I think there's like a genetic switch we have. You joke about the joy you feel with stone fruit, but with this sort of stuff, this is instant energy. So I think we are wired.
We are wired.
To want to put this in our body. You know, you can imagine if you did see this in the wild, you'd be like, wow.
A galette in the
gold.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
There you are, just having a shower with your stone fruit in the wild.
With your stone fruit.
And you come across the galette.
Okay, so what I've done is I could have added more fruit to it to get like a bigger galette, but I've kind of folded it over. It's almost like a little surprise. Think about doing this one in a little pocket, but you completely seal it. And then you pack it in the kids' lunch boxes. And you're like, why did Daddy make me? Boom! Nectarine
it's a galette,
pocket.
Joe, and then he can be all arrogant explaining to the other kids, oh no, a galette is...
There we go.
Oh, I love it, but you
oven.
have shone.
Because like that, give it a little dusty dust, and you're winning. You're winning. That's it. That's it.
Oh, the continuity of the sweetness.
The continuity of the sweetness. Don't have to do the icing sugar. We're just doing it because we're feeling fancy.
It looks absolutely spectacular. I love it. Oh, buddy, you really have outdone yourselves. We have honoured the stone fruit, and it is ripe here. Right now, okay? But you can find this recipe and a whole host of amazing inspirations for little lunchboxes, woolworths.co.za. Plus, W Rewards members, you know there is always something for you. If you buy any 2 of these 4 stone fruits, you'll save 15 Rand in the process, while all customers will save 10 Rand. So there's something for everybody. Shop this offer now at Woolworths, available in-store, online, or on the app. And if you are in store, please don't squeeze the nectarines. But save that at home in the shower. Absolutely amazing. We'll see you after this.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back at your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is, of course, Health Tuesday. We've been coming through with the most, and that advice is going to continue just after this because, once again, official duties must commence, and Carlitos is standing by.
I am indeed, and 1 minute just after 8 o'clock. Here is your final look at your news from around the world on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, nationally, 2 cases of cholera have been reported in Musina and the Senwabregwana in Limpopo province. A spokesperson for the Department of Health, Neil Shekwambana, says the patients are both Zimbabwean men. They were admitted to the Musina to apply good hygienic practices. People with cholera symptoms are encouraged to report to a hospital as soon as possible. Now, the newly announced funding scheme of the student aid scheme NSFAS, for so-called missing middle-class students, means that the government will now fund almost 100% of students in the post-school education and training sector. NSFAS has allocated 3.8 billion Rand for students from households that earn too much to obtain scholarships, but too little to acquire bank loans. Now, the additional 11% will represent the middle-class students. 70% of the money is earmarked for mathematics and science fields of study, as well as entrepreneur programs. Now on to international news. Cyclone Belal has struck the Indian Ocean islands of Mauritius and Reunion, bringing strong winds and heavy flooding. Videos show people stranded on the roofs of cars submerged on flooded roads in Mauritius. The Red Cross said that on the French island of Reunion, 1 person had died and more than 600 have been temporarily displaced. Authorities have warned people not to go outside as the cyclone brought torrential rain and winds gusting up to 250 kilometers per hour. French President Emmanuel Macron has pledged state support to the residents of the French overseas regions. Now, the U.S. military, meanwhile, says it has shot down a missile fired towards one of its warships from the Houthi area of Yemen. The anti-ship cruise missile was drowned by a U.S. fighter aircraft. No injuries or damage were reported in the incident. This after the U.S. and the U.K. launched strikes aimed at degrading the military capability of the Houthis, who have been attacking Red Sea cargo ships. President Joe Biden has said he would not, and I quote, hesitate to direct further measures to protect the free flow of international commerce as necessary. And news to pep you up this morning comes from Edmond in the U.S. state of Oklahoma and concerns a black cat named Binks, which has emerged as the unlikely hero of the county there. This is after she valiantly sprang to the defense of the Dyer family's wee terrier Oakley by tackling a pair of coyotes. Oakley was enjoying some outdoor toilet time when two coyotes closed in on the small dog, and Binks leaped into action, fearlessly charging them. And surprisingly, the coyotes beat a very, very hasty retreat. Of course, Binks's fearless intervention allowed Oakley to seek refuge inside the house. She sustained chest wounds, but a vet saved the day, and she's presently a picture of perfect health once again. A beautiful story just there for you. Wrapping up news on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's time to look at your sport for the last time. Here's G with all the action.
Thank you so much, Carl. Let's start with footballing news. And, well, he's featuring yet again. Argentinian star Lionel Messi understandably secured the best FIFA Men's Player of the Year trophy for the second consecutive time. So the former PSG forward, he outshone some big guns, Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe, for the prestigious award. So Messi, who lifted the 2022 World Cup with Argentina, also helped PSG claim the League One title before joining MLS team Inter Miami. And he's doing amazing things there already. Then on the ladies' side of the draw, Aitana Bonmati, a key player in Spain's 2023 World Cup victory. She was named as the best women's player, while Pep Guardiola of Man City, he earned the best men's coach's accolade. Also very thoroughly deserved there as well. Now let's look at the football happening on the pitches yesterday in AFCON, and defending champion Senegal. They made a resounding statement at AFCON with a commanding 3-0 win against Gambia. So Papa Gueye, he set the tone with a 4th-minute goal. Then Gambia's Ebu Adams, he saw red in first half stoppage time, and that tipped the scales even further. Lamine Camara then doubled Senegal's lead in the 52nd minute, and his impressive curling effort in the 86th minute sealing a decisive 3-0 victory. Don't forget, you can catch all of the AFCON action live on SABC, with Tunisia up against Namibia at 6:30 p.m. this evening. Enjoy it. Now, of course, we've been treated to some amazing local cricket as well. In the Durban Super Giants, they were on form yesterday, securing a thrilling 37-run victory by overcoming the Joburg Super Kings in a dramatic and very low-scoring SA20 clash at Kingsmead. Really raised the pressure, so opting to bat first, the Super Giants faced an early setback at 34 for 4 at one point. They did recover to post 145 for 8, with man of the match Heinrich Klaassen scoring 60 for the bulk of those runs, just off 41 deliveries. Well, in response, the Super Kings seemed poised for victory at 33 without loss. However, a remarkable turnaround saw the Super Giants defend that total, and in so doing earn themselves a crucial bonus point. Now we finally turn to tennis, and not the greatest start for Naomi Osaka as she makes her Grand Slam comeback at the Australian Open and sadly is out. She lost 6-4, 7-6. There was 7-2 in that tiebreak to Caroline Garcia in the Australian Open first round. So the French 16th seed secured victory with a single break in that opening set and then a dominant performance in the second set tiebreak. Osaka, a 4-time Grand Slam champion already, had taken a hiatus in September of 2022, citing mental health concern, and returning for 2024 season after giving birth to her baby girl. Bit of a stuttering start, but she'll be back pretty quickly, I would imagine. And that's where we leave our sport for this Tuesday morning. Roads should be up and running. Let's get the latest on the traffic front.
Yes, thank you so much, G-Man. One last time to take a look at traffic this morning and see how we can help you on the roads. Now let's move to Pretoria, Gauteng. There is congestion on the N1 southbound, and that's between Old Johannesburg Road and Olifantsstein Road. So you can expect delays and must allow for some more travel time if you are passing through this area. Now, moving to Randburg in Johannesburg, there's been a multi-vehicle accident on the N1 northbound, and this after Beyers Nordier. Now, the right lane is closed, as you can see from the visuals here, so you can definitely expect delays if you're driving through this area. But again, for anybody heading out on the roads, buckle up, stay safe, and plan accordingly. Let's head to the sky now and see what's happening in the latest when it comes to weather. Now, reporting one last time when it comes to weather news, and the SA Weather Service says a steep upper air system is expected to affect the eastern parts of the Eastern Cape, parts of KwaZulu-Natal, Mpumalanga, Gauteng and Limpopo until Thursday. Now, the public is advised that stormy conditions such as severe thunderstorms and disruptive rainfall leading to flooding can be expected in places. Now, severe thunderstorms leading to heavy downpours, strong winds, hail and excessive lighting are also expected over the southwestern parts of the northwest, the extreme northeastern northern Cape and the western parts of the Free State. Now, the Weather Service says extremely high fire danger conditions are expected over the Walter Sisulu local municipality of the Eastern Cape, the Matsikama and Bergrivier municipalities of the Western Cape, the central and eastern parts of the Northern Cape, and the western and southern parts of the Free State. Well, that's our weather news, but once again, we're going to showcase our final sunrise view of the hour. Now, this one was sent in by Roland from Balito, Durban. And look at this hazy, beautiful, majestic shot. Just a peek through the foreground of the trees, out into the coastline, watching the sunrise through those clouds. That is absolutely magnificent, like a pastel painting. I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for sending it through. We'll do it all again tomorrow morning, bright and early. The number's 0634088860. Why? Because we love to see how you start your day. For now, though, let's see exactly how you're going to start your day when it comes to the temperatures and see what you can expect on your side of town.
Lovely temperatures all over South Africa, but of course, temperatures are rising over here. Now, if you still have leave days left or you're only going on leave now, there are some hidden gems coming your way, and we've got two travel content creators that will do the most for you. They are locked and loaded to give you some of the most amazing hidden gems, and you'll meet them a little later. Plus, Angelique has got the workout to sculpt the lower body. So I'm going to ask you just for 1 second, right? Get a cup of coffee, do what you need to do, because the wait is almost over for these amazing things on your Feel Good Breakfast show. It's quite heavy.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show, and of course it's Travel Tuesday, and we love traveling. Now we have very, very amazing content creators here. We've got a photographer and a travel content creator. We've got Shantizi and your mama's Televizi and Kairizi, who is here. Sorry, I know them well, and that's why I can say this sort of, sorry, but just for the sake of appearances, Shantae Peterson and Kyron Allen are here to make sure that you enjoy your holiday with some hidden gems for those who still have leave. If you are now entering the workload for the year, then look away.
We are
these
sorry.
hidden gems are going to make you less the travel again, but it's okay.
And now watch all hope leave the mind. Shantizzle.
Yes, that's the other one. Welcome.
Welcome, guys. Thank you for making us one of your little pit stops, because I know you're often out there exploring.
Yes.
Best job in the world, yes or no?
Definitely.
I love it.
Without a doubt.
You too.
So what is the job? What is the job? Obviously, we know there is a lot of work in terms of the content kind of production itself.
Yes.
So you've got to be a little mini production house that is ready to do
Yes.
anything at any given time.
Yeah.
But in terms of what you're going to get, how do you set it up? How do you go out there? You just like get a map and go, boom, we're going there.
You know what? It's weird. You don't always do that. Sometimes you just plan on going on a trip and you stumble upon these hidden gems because you decide to hike. You decide to get out there and walk and go look for it.
Yeah.
You know, the most beautiful ones were the ones we stumbled upon.
Because they're hidden gems.
They're hidden gems.
Exactly.
And I think, I mean,
Yeah.
18 years in the space, speaking to local people, engaging with communities,
Yeah.
people, you know, people consume this content and see it and go, hey, dude, have you seen this?
Yeah.
You need to go here. And that's, you know, kind of how we discover
you
all
gotta
these
try
little
it.
places.
Some people don't even think these places are in South Africa, honestly.
That's probably
the most comments we
yeah,
get. They're
the
like,
most common thing.
Yeah.
This can't be SA.
Yeah.
Like, it's just down the road.
And it's going to cost you $80 to get
Yeah,
there. but
literally.
Go. Yeah.
Well, we just did one the other day in Johannesburg, 25 rand a person to go. Most incredible thing,
that was
water
Clarence,
tunnels
yeah.
all the way down.
Oh, Clarence is on a different level.
Unbelievable,
Yeah.
man.
yes.
And,
I love it.
But this is the great thing about hidden gems.
Yeah.
Is that we naturally as human beings try to one-up each other.
Definitely.
And I think that's where your content comes from. Is that like, oh my word, but you may have seen like Kraalbaai, but like, have you seen the underground tunnels of Cape Town? And then next thing you know, you're like, hey, that's actually quite good. So your work's almost done for you, which is really great. But let's venture into some of these places.
Take us
because
there.
this is actually, the first one I want to get to is it's actually one that I heard of quite recently. So when Donkey's Kraal came up, I was like, no ways.
Oh, man.
Now give us a little rundown. Donkey's Kraal.
man.
Now, first and foremost, I mean, when you hear it, you're thinking, right, we're going to see
donkeys.
Yeah.
The famous donkey.
There's no donkeys anymore.
Is there a kraal, at least?
Well, I mean, you know what? When I actually discovered the place, I discovered it through Tay's Instagram. And there was this cool shot of her in a bath and 2.3 million views. And I'm like, what is this?
Well, she wasn't a boss.
Yeah, she wasn't. Yeah, well,
I think the answer is in the question.
There
I
it is,
think
there
that
it is.
might,
Sorry, we got that. Apologies.
and it's true, you've got to start with that as the picture, though.
That's correct.
If you're in the bath, and it doesn't matter where you go.
It's straight clickbait.
Get that. No, 100%.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's one of the most incredible places.
Yeah.
You get, it's all about the
It's real
cave, the
caves that
bath,
you
the
sleep in.
environment.
And they just worked around it.
And that's unique.
Yes.
I mean, you've got to travel to the other side of the world to find something like that. That is incredible.
And it's very affordable, by the way. So for everyone that's listening, one of the most affordable, unique hidden
I love
gems.
it. If you want to get out there, get to the Wild Coast. It is a different, it feels like a different world.
Oh, yeah.
Intentu, Pondoland. Talk us through that.
Oh, man. I mean, I grew up down the south coast.
Okay.
I lived on a banana farm in Port Edward.
lucky boy.
And for me, the Eastern
I
Cape
call him
was my
Pisanki.
playground. Yeah, banana boys for another reason. But, the Eastern Cape, possibly the Wild Coast, is just unbelievable, man. The waterfalls, the locations, the landscape, but the people.
The people.
Intentu, what
That's
it has
the
to
gem.
offer. Like,
Yeah.
no signal. The big thing for me.
Thank goodness.
I want to go to places
It's
where
rural.
no one can get
Very.
to.
If you want to understand what proper rural living is like in terms of the sense of community,
Yeah, everything.
what a chief means to his village, how you'll get looked after.
And how the community takes care of itself without any issues.
Ubuntu, yeah, proper.
Wow. Yeah, love Pondoland, love it.
Okay, let's do like a speed round of a couple more here. So let's go to a little bit of a mix here. Clarence Cave as well. Shante, talk us through this one very quickly.
I'll do that very quick. It's a must. It's a hidden gem in Clarence, yeah, as you can see. And the thing about this cave is you can only visit at certain times of the year because there's birds breeding there, and it's only guided. But it's so beautiful. So yeah, they take care of it.
And they have to. I mean, the geology in that part of the world in Clarence is singular, as far as I understand. It's like, you're not going to find those views
that specific cave, you need to add in the -3-degree swim across the pond. You can't get it. It's not accessible. You got to swim through this -3.
Got to have an ice bath.
Upper ladder, ice bath, upper ladder, and you're in.
I love it, man. It's woke as well. Mix of travels. We've got the Clarence Cave, Tabazimbi.
Oh, man.
I'm going to let you take this one.
I mean, Tabazimbi was a surprise to me. You know, we were going to this farm in the middle of nowhere, and we get there. And I think, like, unique stays, container homes, people have just pieced things together. Most incredible, rooms, decor, things to do, quad bikes. You get there, we got a rhino. That's how you get to your room. And you
ride a rhino.
You ride a rhino to your room? I mean, it's a four-wheeler. One of those.
I prefer the other. It's going
man, park, ride your Can-Am to your room, cut off. It's just the most incredible sunset, sunrises.
I mean, looking at the visuals,
red sand.
It looks spectacular, and your content is good, guys. Your content is spectacular.
And it's something that people don't expect of Tabazimbi either. So I try to steer away from just Cape Town, and because that's what the foreigners know. But then they see these places, and then they're like, well, how do we get there?
And I think they often don't realise it's 45 minutes, an hour's drive, 2 hour drive.
But I think one of the biggest things we've noticed is people are actually actioning, watching the content, and then going. And then tagging us in the stuff. Thank you so much, guys. You plugged us to this epic cave, this epic stay, and tend to wherever it may be. So people are actually going and actioning it.
And doing it because you've created
Which is super satisfying.
It is.
I love the movement.
No, but and kudos to you, because that supports entrepreneurs, that supports these small towns, that supports these communities. If you want this to be your tribe, you want to sit in a bath in some foreign location and look amazing.
Especially in a bath.
Especially in a bath. You can find that place here in this country. Guys, you are amazing. Keep up the good work. You're doing phenomenal content. Thank you so much.
Great stuff. Well, let's flex our muscles for a second, though. We went from travel. Now let's travel through our muscularity with Ryle.
Oh, that sounds fun. Okay, let's do exactly that. Let's travel through these puppies. Listen, we had an incredible conversation earlier with Angelique, so it's time to revitalize our 2024 fitness routines. I'm still stuck in the past. Welcome to the future. And this is going to be a dynamic lower body weight training workout. And of course, here to join us today, like we had in that conversation earlier, someone that's going to inspire us to move, make things so much easier. And at the same time, she's the founder of the Lean Girl Guide. We're talking about Angelique Doberman in the building. So Angie, we had a great conversation, but it's time to have some fun now and move. And I know you are full of fun ways to do exactly that. What have you got for us this morning?
So, are you ready, Ralph?
I'm ready.
Okay, good. So we are going to be doing a lower body segment. We're going to call it the Lean Girl 5 in 5.
5 in 5?
Because I want people to remember it. So you can remember that it's 5 exercises and only 5 minutes are needed.
Is that it?
Like we were chatting about, it's just about doing something.
Okay,
right?
I love that.
Start with 5 minutes, and if we can progress to 10 next time, that's great. But we're just going to start with 5.
So this is the call to action for everybody out there. Mzansi, you're watching right now. Get up off the couch, get up, do whatever you're doing, and come in and enjoy this session right now because it's time to move. Right, let's get straight into it.
Right, let's grab our dumbbells.
Okay.
So we are going to be doing a weight training session today. So focusing on strength and sculpting our bodies, which is where weights comes into it.
You've got a weird, sinister smile there. I don't know if I should trust you or not, but let's have fun.
I do love a bit of punishment, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to start with a little step-out squat. So I just want you to take a good step to the left, and then we're going to get into it, getting that booty nice and low. And of course, if you don't have weights, people at home can do this without weights as well. It could be quite challenging depending on your fitness level. And then as you get stronger, you are just going to add in some more weight to the mix. So that's the key with building strength, right? Is to progress over time.
Nice, I love that.
Okay.
Really comfortable
So-
and really end your goals up. All right.
Should
How
we-
many reps of these are we doing exactly?
All right, so 5 and 5. So
Yeah.
when you're working out at home, I want you to do a minute of each.
Ah, okay. A minute of each. So we'd have just done a minute of the side step squatting and then we move over to the next exercise.
We move on to the next one.
Okay,
So
got you.
number 2 is going to be an easy back lunge. So stepping it back, tapping the knee all the way down, and then we're going to alternate it onto the other side. And the key here is really to get that knee nice and low, and then also drive up through the heel. And guys, it's the basics that are beautiful.
Yeah.
So you can never get tired of doing things like squats and lunges, because you can just improve and increase the weight, and you'll be building strength.
And
And your heart rate should get up a little bit as well.
Oh, really? I was just going to say the heart rate's already getting up and we're
The
just getting
heart rate's
started. And
up.
also, I love the cue of driving through your heel. It really stimulates that glute so much more. I'm feeling the burn
You're
now.
feeling the burn?
That's made the difference.
Okay,
I
Raul's
love
like,
it.
is the minute over? Is the minute over, guys?
All right, so let's just
All
pretend
right.
that the next minute, the second minute's over. Now
Yeah,
we move
well.
over to the third exercise, right?
Third exercise, we're going to do a deadlift. So
Ooh.
again, this is a good basic. And some cues here. So I'm actually going to turn to the side. So you want to move your butt backwards, almost like you're closing a door. And then you're going to drive all the way up again.
Oh, so you got that hinge at the
So
hip.
really nice hinge at the hip.
Yeah.
All the way down to sort of the middle of the shin. And then I want you to pull those hamstrings and booty up, really feeling it in the bottom.
So-
Nice and controlled here.
Back on my legs right now, feeling quite a big stretch the lower I go down. Is that right?
Stretch is the key in this movement. So this is not about explosive power. That's really about feeling that stretch, engaging your core with all of these moves as well. Keeping the weights nice and close to the body. Let's go for one more.
Oh, I love this. And again, for me, with some tight hammies at the moment, this is like getting the rust off right now.
Beautiful. We go one more. We're
Yeah,
going one more out.
absolutely feeling
Let's
it.
go.
And I can almost get deeper and deeper as I progress to that as well.
Exactly.
So nice
As
little
you
mobility
stretch,
in that.
as you stretch more and more.
Nice.
All right. Move number 4. Let's get down onto our mats.
All right.
We're going to do a little glute bridge.
Ooh.
So this again, you could do this with weights or without. We are going to pop our weights up onto our hips. And this is a fantastic one, especially for the ladies and the booties. So we're just going to pop it right up. Nice big squeeze up at the top. Hold it there for a second. So you really feel that squeeze. And our glutes are actually quite strong. So you can actually add quite a bit of load onto this.
I'm just more
And-
upset by the fact that you mentioned that this is just for the ladies. What
It's
about
not for the
fellas? Come on.
ladies. Well, the ladies also love a man with a good booty, so
Well, the gents want to get the booties popping.
they
through the
also
summer.
want the booty. Let's go for one more. Squeeze at the top. Nice. How's your booty feeling?
Oh, that's a proper burn. Really
Feeling
forward.
good?
And we've
All
already
right.
done 4 exercises. One more left, right?
One more
so
left.
this is the 5 in 5. Absolutely
5
loving it.
in
This would be
5.
the 5th minute, 5th exercise.
5 minutes. So I
Yeah.
want you to get your weights up nice and high. I want you to give me a squat again. And you know what? No one should skip calf day. So
Oh,
we're
no,
going to
this
do
is
a
proper.
little calf
Woo.
raise.
Okay.
Get those
Feeling it.
calves in the mix here. A nice burn. Lifting up onto your tippy toes like you're kind of wearing a pair of high heels. And we're going to go for 5 more. And then every single part of our beautiful lower bodies should be sculpted.
Yeah, so this is that moment where Raul goes silent because he's in pain, but the burn was absolutely amazing. Angie, thank you so
Amazing.
much. Dumbbell
Great
high
job.
five.
Dumbbell
and
high
it
five.
doesn't stop there. We've got another round coming at you. Officially, we can tick the box on our lower body being sorted. And this is a great summer workout that you can replicate and keep going on and on and on.
Yes.
And of course, if you haven't found online already, do so right now because there's so much inspiration, but the inspiration will continue because we've got another workout coming at you in just a bit. Yes, we're talking about round 2. Right, so 5 and 5, one more round. Let's do it.
Let's
Okay?
go. Let's go.
All right.
Let's go. 5 squats.
Yes.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you beauties. Thank you so much for dialing back in. You're about to get your just rewards. Love. And we love love. We love love in its purest form. We love it when it's manifest in the love of our country. And today is all about Travel Tuesday. And we have one special story of a young couple who have traveled all the way from the UK and, of course, chose South Africa as their dream wedding destination. We're about to find out why they chose our beautiful backyard for this auspicious occasion. So please give a very hearty congratulations and warm welcome to Amy Drummond and Tyrone Newton.
Happy, happy!
I feel like we should be throwing confetti. Can we still throw confetti?
Yes, we can.
Yeah?
Let's do that. But you know, it's now biodegradable confetti. Eh?
Oh,
You know, it's very conscious. We woke now.
It must be in Cape Town. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
This is great. I mean, can you feel the happy energy coming through? How did you guys meet?
Tinder.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, man.
Like, now, where's popcorn? Do we have popcorn? Okay, sorry. This is great.
So what was it about her profile that...
What was it on each other's bios that really said yes to both of you?
I was trying to play it cool with mine, you know, trying to be mysterious. But then, well, you know, there was a few holiday pics. So, yeah, I was like, oh, God, she looks great. So, yeah, so I swiped and luckily, yeah, we matched.
And fast forward, and you are married, and you are in Cape Town, and you chose Cape Town for this it's the biggest moment. It really is.
Oh.
And I got married fairly recently, so I know what that feeling's like. Why Cape Town, Amy? Why was this the place to be?
We got engaged here, so it's just special. And we always wanted a destination wedding, so we came back.
Engagement story. Sorry, I like to unpack. This is feeling more and more like a reunion.
And we'll get both versions, yeah.
So I do want to know, so where was the question popped?
The bungalow.
Oh, that's a beautiful... Have you been to the bungalow?
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
I might have proposed to my wife a few times at the bungalow as well, even after we were married.
Exactly. Oh, that's so special. And I think now not only the city itself being special, but naturally to get married here is just it's next level, isn't it? There's something about that.
And there is something about a destination. I went all the way to the UK to do mine, and to be far away, to have that kind of bubble around you. What was the wedding like? Talk us through the highs, the lows.
So really, it's like to go with the engagement, the mission was to get her to fall in love with Cape Town, because I kind of spent some time here when I was like 10 with my dad.
Wow.
So, and she spent some time in Kenya, so she wasn't familiar with Southern Africa, so it was my job to bring. So we've been this like the 4th time in about 5 years.
Oh, really? The honey pot. So this is just try again,
try again. And then, so then when I proposed like the bungalow on the edge, and I was like, right. And then she was like, I love this place. So then that's why we chose to get married here.
Thank you. That's it. So we have advocates all over, you know that. We've got spies all over bringing people here. But now that this has happened, of course, let's talk about the culture shock a little bit about Cape Town itself. I mean, perhaps, you've had a couple of quirks, some things that stood out to you around Cape Town and the people here. Maybe the yaw that you hear so often. Yaw. So what else has been a highlight for you in terms of the people here? I'm intrigued. Yaw.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for you to go back to the UK and someone like maybe that passport guard is going to ask you a question. You're like,
No, I think she said to me, she was like, everyone's so multilingual. She was like, why are they not...
speaks so many languages.
Yes,
yeah. So it's so different from England, where it's just one language all the time.
Well, this is the thing. I suppose in the UK, you kind of stay where you are. You know? And I think my English family have struggled with that with me. It's like, we're so open-minded, we're so out there, we want to kind of do an experience.
Yeah.
You've been able to experience, I love the fact that Cape Town has a little bit of everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Now that you've spent a bit of time here, and you can see how good life is here, the sun is here all the time. Sun,
and the pound looks so good here.
Oh,
so
man.
good.
Yeah, that's going to be my final question is, how cheap was the wedding? Is there an opportunity to come out here, renew the vows every year? Like, where does South Africa sit now in your world? Are you guys contemplating maybe spending a bit more time here, maybe coming?
We would love to.
Relocate.
Years, you know?
We were saying that yesterday, weren't we? We want a holiday home. In the next few years, we would love to.
Gotta work.
Work harder.
You can work here, and then, you know, you can get it done. Look, you wouldn't be the first to get the holiday home here. So the venue for the wedding itself, where's that set and how's that all going to play out?
So it's Boss Jess. Yeah. Yeah.
You love that chapel?
Yeah.
You love that chapel? It looks so good. Highly Instagrammable, but more importantly, the entire area. I think it's one of the areas in the Western Cape. Just the surrounds. Oh, I'm sure you've done a little trip around. You know, there's enough accommodation for your guests, which is beautiful. But that particular venue, I've done a few weddings there.
We're wedding MCs. That's our vibe. I'm just saying.
That's what you're in for.
Look at it.
I think that's it there. That's the shot there. So it's going to be beautiful. But to both of you, I think it's going to be wonderful. Graham and I were going to send over our email addresses just for the invitations, and then. Yes, but do enjoy.
We'll wait for the doves, the dove delivered invitation. We'll have those invitations. No, I love the fact that you guys have fallen in love with our country. Tyron, thank you for working so hard to get her to fall in love with our country as well. Only took 4 trips, man. What have you been doing, Cape Town? What have we been doing? But all the best. The best time of your lives is about to begin. So I love the fact that there's such a cool story behind how you've gotten to this point, but the best is yet to come. Enjoy, guys.
Wow. Congratulations. And now it's time to shed for the wedding. Shedding for the wedding.
Not again.
Yes.
Let's do it. Okay, well played. That's definitely true. And a lot of us are wanting to get our shed on, especially this time of the year. New year, new you, new beginnings. You know the vibe. And earlier on the show, we obviously met the founder of Lean Girl Guide. I'm talking about Angelique Doberman in the building. And she took us through a lower body workout. But now it's time to focus on another box that we need to tick. And that's our upper body. And ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Cool. What you got for us?
5 upper body exercises again, 1 minute each. If people want to follow along at home, we'll do this workout again.
Nice.
And we're going to start with one of my favorites that can be done anywhere, anytime, any place, no equipment. And that's going to be a good old push-up.
Oh, it doesn't get better than that.
We're going to get it done, but Raul, I actually want to show you a new kind.
Okay.
So this is actually a negative push-up. And so we're going to start in the plank position. And then I want to see how slow you can go.
Oh, okay.
So all the way until you can't hold it anymore.
And then
you're going to drop it down. And then we're going to, well, you can even go up on your knees if you're feeling weak.
So this is proper work, because this is how you build muscle. We're talking about eccentric loading here, right?
Eccentric loading, exactly.
This is a lot harder,
so
and like
really,
you said,
really strong in that plank and lower all the way down. And if you're feeling like you aren't that strong, you can also just push up like that onto your knees, back up into your plank.
And control the descent.
The whole way down, we want to do it really nice and slow. Whew. And that's a great way to actually build up to a full push-up if that's something that you're struggling with. You're doing a great job there. I know that you're into your calisthenics.
But that is it's such a great tool. The tempo of our movements really makes a difference in terms of what you get out of that result.
Slow, controlled. We're not using momentum. So now we're going to grab our weights again. So we're going to go into our first dumbbell exercise. And if you don't have dumbbells at home, you could also use something heavy like cans or water bottles. So we're going to go in for a shoulder press, which I think you might know this one. So you're going to hold it up and we're going to give it a nice reach up to the top, holding in that core, pushing it up, and after a few reps, you should already feel the burn. I mean, these weights must be around 15 kilos, right? Right, Ralph?
But look, like you said earlier,
we are just strong.
It's not about the weight really when you're doing work like this. It's again about the quality of the movement, and it's something you're ensuring a lot of. Especially when I watch you online, I see you having a discussion. You've got a full-on community guiding you through these movements, which I think makes the biggest difference in all of this. What would you also denote to being something that can really make a success out of this thing? Obviously, we've got the movement box ticks right now.
Yes.
We can just follow you for some tips on that. But what else do we need to make sure we include in this?
So I think it really comes down to mindset.
Yeah.
I think most people, even if they know what to do, it's like, why am I not doing it? Even if I know what healthy choices to make, I know I should be training, why am I not doing it? So I actually have a podcast as well called the Lean Girl Fitcast, and that deals with specifically mindset and motivation when it comes to nutrition, fitness, and building a great body.
Which I think we all need. And
we all need to get our heads right.
Yeah, take that, couple it with the community that you've built. I think you've got a great sort of force behind you to get these goals smashed. So listen, let's not get distracted here. We're still going to work
I know, we like that rest time. So we're going to go for biceps, which we can't forget about. So a nice, easy bicep curl. Again, really contracting those muscles. Even if you don't have weights at home, just think about pulling your arms up and really contracting that bicep on the way up and on the way down. So a lot of people will just drop the weight down, but half the movement is actually resisting on the way down.
So you're getting twice as much.
You're getting twice as much muscle
for half
growth
the amount of time. I love that.
Yeah, boy.
I think also the fact that you don't necessarily need to just have dumbbells. Maybe you put some books or a water bottle in your hand.
Anything that's heavy, we can do it.
Maybe even a heavy bag. All right.
Yes.
Pumped.
Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit more shoulders.
Okay.
So I want you to take it out to the side. So this is a lateral raise.
Yeah.
This is quite a challenging one, and you're going to start feeling those shoulders burn. Shoulders is actually one of my favorite exercises to work, especially for females. Like, I love a beautiful, strong shoulder. I'm like all about the ladies, but I know the men like the shoulders too.
No, for sure.
And again, when we are lifting up the weight, we want to control it down all the way to the sides to ensure that we are using that eccentric movement as well. And so you're going to go for a full 1 minute on that. And
Beautiful.
then last but not least, we can't forget about our triceps, which is that little chicken wing piece that everyone is like, I need to get rid of that.
Doesn't everybody come and like, how do I get rid of this? And then
That's exactly the request. And if that is your request, this is the move that's going to help you.
Okay, what do you got
So we're going to bend over to the side, and we're going to do a beautiful little extension on the tricep, kicking it all the way back. So this is a nice tricep kickback. And again, a nice pause at the top. So you feel that squeeze, and you should feel that in the beautiful tricep there. And this is a great way to tone and build muscle on those little chicken wings, on those underarms, to give you that nice, toned, strong look.
Yeah, I can feel the blood
You can feel
pumping in that area. It's already
arms
firming up.
pumped.
Yeah.
Do you look strong?
Absolutely magic. Ange, thank you so
There
much.
you
This was
go.
another
Thank you
incredible
so
session.
much. Upper body, done.
Yeah, ticking the boxes on great conversation, on motivation, on lower body, upper body. It's like we've done everything except we need to eat, right?
I'm a little hungry.
We are a little hungry. Oh, look, don't worry, because we've got you covered even with that. And Ange's got a beautiful recipe that we're going to dive into the kitchen just to get the nutrition and get you fueled to smash all your goals. We'll see you after that. All right, let's do one more round. I love that.
Yeah, let's go. What are we doing?
Anything.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. Health Tuesday has been served, and it's going to carry on right now, right here in the kitchen. We were chatting with the founder of the Lean Girl brand, women's nutrition and fitness coach, Angelique Doberman. And she has really changed the way we see diet, especially when it comes to the foods and everything else involved in this crazy world. Now, on top of this, it also makes fitness goals look more achievable. And that's thanks to her incredible community and everything that she's built online. But on top of this, her dessert alternatives don't skimp out on the fun. So let's find exactly how we can get some protein without even realizing how good it actually is.
Yes. So we've done our workout,
Yes.
and now we have to refuel.
Yes.
So my philosophy on food is that fat loss food does not have to be bland and boring and, require a lot of willpower and discipline to actually keep to your diet.
And I don't think people are going to believe you, because a lot of people have experienced only the boring, only the strict, only the fun-reducing stuff. So this is what we all are wanting right now.
This is what we're all about.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be making a big protein blueberry fridge tart. And if you believe it, actually one portion is 200 calories, but this is actually one portion. It's two of them. So it's like 100 calories a portion, and you're getting a stack of protein, and it's like 5 ingredients to make.
So you can
actually
have a
4
second
ingredients.
serving, and it's guilt-free?
Guilt-free.
Beautiful. Say no more. Let's get into it.
Let's get into the
How
recipe.
are we doing this one?
Okay, so starting with a NutriBullet or any blender that people have at home. And we're going to be using the internet's favorite ingredient and mine, which is cottage cheese. So packed with protein, also lovely and low calorie.
And
so,
low fat too, right?
And low fat,
Yeah,
correct.
nice.
So you can use the fat-free version in this recipe. So we're going to be adding that to the NutriBullet. And then we're going to have some beautiful blueberries into the mix. By the way, you can try this with any of your favorite fruits. So I love to do it with mango. I like to do it with blueberries, strawberries, whatever your favorite is.
Yeah.
And then we're going to add an extra bit of sweetness. So this is just some sweetener. You could also use sugar or honey if you prefer.
Okay.
And then last but not least, gelatine, which is, don't be scared of gelatine. It's actually really easy to use. Just the powder, a little bit of water, pop it in the microwave for like 20 seconds. Make sure it's dissolved. Done.
So this is something that I wouldn't normally play around with. Like a lot of these ingredients, for me being a health enthusiast as well, that makes sense, right? What's the reason for adding this together? Is it just to kind of get the consistency right?
So gelatine is going to give us that nice firmness. So it's actually going to make it like a pudding and set it.
So this makes it that gourmet experience,
That
right?
gourmet experience, but super easy to do. And fun fact, gelatin is pure protein. So
what? So you're adding more protein?
We're
Okay, no one's going to complain about that.
We're adding more protein.
Nice, all right. So essentially what I'm seeing here is the fact that we've got protein, we've got some good healthy carbs coming from the food as well. So that means we're getting our nutrition boxes ticked when it comes to the micronutrients. My question is, when would you have something like this? Pre, intra, post-workout? Is there a specific time to have a smoothie like this, or can it be anywhere?
It can pretty much be anytime, anywhere. Personally, I love to have it as an after-dinner dessert.
Okay.
So I love something sweet. I have a serious sweet tooth.
Especially at night, yeah?
Especially at
Okay,
night.
I got you, yeah.
So this is when all of my sweet treats have been inspired by, because I'm like, girl has to have something after dinner. So I have to come up with some low-calorie ideas that are also counting toward my goals.
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, for a lot of us, we often associate meals with a big plate of food, maybe a dessert afterwards, and then a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something crazy like that. And we never, ever kind of have the ability to get rid of the dessert, and that's sometimes what makes the diet so much more difficult.
100%.
This is stopping you needing to curb and cut out the thing you love by just replacing it with an alternative, but you're still ticking all the health boxes.
Absolutely.
This is a win.
It's a huge win.
Where have you been?
It's a huge
Where
win.
have you been
I'm
for
here, and I'm here
everybody's
to
lives?
stay.
Forever.
I'm here to
Okay,
stay.
all right. And then as simple as that, you take all these ingredients, you blend it up, and we're done.
Everything. And so easy cleanup as well.
Okay.
So should we give it a blitz?
Yeah, this is a secret on Expresso. So this is the time whenever we blend, we share some of our deepest, darkest, craziest secrets.
Oh,
Why?
I've got a good one.
No one can hear you.
Oh, it's turning a beautiful purple color.
All right. Well, it looks like the color's coming to life right now.
It looks good.
Woo. Consistency, is that
beautiful.
good?
I'm going to give it one more second, and I think we're ready.
Beautiful. Oh, for me, it's the color that I'm all about right now.
It's
purely
the summer
come to life.
vibes.
Yeah, this
Summer
is what it's
vibes.
about.
Gorgeous.
The proof
All right.
is in the pudding, though.
It's really that easy.
Yeah.
And I'm all about the presentation.
Okay.
I heard someone say earlier that they romanticize their food, and I'm about that. Like, even food that's good for fat loss, good for your body, can also make it look beautiful. So we have a gorgeous heart bowl that we are going to be pouring it into here.
Healthy heart, healthy mind, healthy body. I love it. This is reminiscent of you loving your body, right? That makes absolute sense. But for me, the color is just vibrant. It's inviting. It's popping. I want to get it in my belly.
Thankfully, we already have one that's good to go. So this will go into the fridge for about 10-15 minutes, so it also doesn't take long. And then your dessert is good to go.
Okay, so that kind of sets, and then we're pretty much ready.
That sets.
Fast, effective, and ticking the box when it comes to nutrition. Can I please taste it?
You may.
Okay, let's grab one over here. I don't know if you want to grab one yourself, but we've got some spoons. Can you pass me one over here?
So we have some that are
official
ready
taste
to go.
testing on this beautiful dessert. This one's from the Lingo.
It's got a beautiful texture, really nice and light.
And
sweet.
Fluffy. What? And this is healthy. No way.
100 calories.
Absolutely.
Packed with protein. There's no willpower needed when you get to eat such delicious food,
and
right?
Absolutely nailed it. Thank you so much for coming through. You've been an absolute breath of inspiration for our fitness goals, for just being healthy and for finding a community that we can vibe with. So keep it going. We'll find you online. You can definitely head over to her websites online if you want to get anything else from the podcast or the community. Or also, right now, head over to expressoshow.com and you can get this beautifully healthy, inspired recipe. Nice job. Well done.
Thank you.
This is good.
You know, they say music is the protein of the soul. So we are planning to give you a proper protein overload with this smoothie. Erin Elliott, who will be performing, I know, will be performing a little bit later on your Feel Good Breakfast show, so make sure you stay right there.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso on S3.
And we got one last moment to savor with this incredible human being and artist. She's here to perform just for you to see us out today. Ladies and gents, one last time, it's Erin Elliott. Take it away.
So this is called Seek My Heart Out. I wrote this, it's inspired by lockdown, what I went through with the love of my life. And I think a lot of couples went through a lot during lockdown and we came out the other side stronger. So here's Seek My Heart Out.
How we get here from where we left off. Now we're all in, no fighting. We were right there in the darkness when the rain came, no way in. Look around you, I will find you. No matter what it comes to, It's pulling you down, but you don't want to stay. When you're falling apart at what you see, can you follow your heart just to find me? Look around you, I will find you. No matter what it comes to, we'll still get there from where we are now. And if we can just seek my heart out, seek my heart out, seek my heart out, seek my heart out. Look where we are now, look where we are now. 'Cause you seek my heart out. Look who we are now, look who we are now. 'Cause you seek my heart out.
Thank you. Thank you. I've got one more song. It is called In the Blink, and this song is actually coming out tomorrow. So if you have a look on Spotify, Apple Music, all those places, it's everywhere. So it's coming out at midnight tonight, and this is all about the love of my life and meeting someone and they change your life like that.
It started in the backseat. It started right in front of me. And as I look in the rear view, I can barely find the words to use. You were from a different city, living somewhere far away from here. I was looking at you clearly. How can I feel this way so quickly? The look in your eyes, the feelings untied. Was it a sudden fade? The sound of your voice, the sweet little joys. How could my life change in just the blink of an eye? Looking back at what was right in front of me, falling fast and tripping off my running feet. You knew what I needed, right when I couldn't see it. Looking lost and thinking that it's just a fling. Paths crossed and you became my everything. You were the change that I needed, right when I couldn't see it. Started calling every Sunday. We started laughing every word you say. As I was falling even deeper, long nights talking over a speaker. You came to visit in my city, like you never went away from here. I was looking at you clearly. How can I feel this way so quickly? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? The look in your eyes, the feelings untied. Was it a sudden fade? The sound of your voice, the sweet little joys. How could my life change in just the blink of an eye? Looking back at what was right in front of me, falling fast and tripping off my running feet. You knew what I needed, right when I couldn't see it. Looking lost and thinking that it's just a fling. Paths crossed and you became my everything. You were the change that I needed, right when I couldn't see it. We started chasing a dream like an inseparable team. Don't wanna fall back asleep, already falling too deep. You found me perfectly timed. You wrapped me up in your life. How could it change in one night? In just the blink of an eye. Looking back at what was right in front of me, falling fast and tripping off my running feet. You knew what I needed, right when I couldn't see it. Looking lost and thinking that it's just a fling.
From the freshest fruit full of vitamins. Crush it real good. Clover Crush, your daily goodness. Also in delicious new nectar.
Another feel-good production.